Yo!
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 Yo! Hi, how's it going?
Going quite nice.
Hello.
So then,
Oh, is
We-
Liv not going to join us?
Liv is on her way. She said she'll be here in just a second, having a little computer issue. Which, I mean, her computer giving her a bit of sass is kind of par for, you know, Liv, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You hate to say it, but she's had some troubles, and I'm getting them sorted out at the moment. But that was a great opportunity to recap. Hi.
When
Who
we
wants to
last had left off in the adventures of the New World, Rodalak was about to get on board with some investigations, and then his audio rig exploded.
Yeah. That tracks.
I'm just imagining like a doodle of you right next to you, and then it's just a GIF explosion, and you spin away. Sorry, I think in editing terms.
I was thinking Team Rocket blasts off again, sort of thing.
That can also be there. Really?
With that one not Wilhelm screen.
Oh, that's the goofy hollow.
Yeah, the
It's
goofy holler.
hollow.
Thing, I can't do that well right now. Oh, whatever. I just thought of it off the top of my head. I'm gonna have to listen to that now. I'll do that later. Hi! So, you guys were gearing up, and I think we wanted to slightly maybe backtrack to actually make
by the way,
see if there
Jake?
was anything else to cover. Huh?
Oh, by the way, Jay, congratulations on getting past 3K subscribers.
Hooray! Yeah!
Hey.
I have kicked the door down past
Connect
3K.
failed.
Yeah, it seems like a sudden jump, honestly.
I got some heavy traction on my Indigo Park playthrough, which was fantastic, and you should all watch, by the way.
Isn't that like... Wait. Progress on your Indigo Park playthrough? Isn't that game like 2 hours?
Yeah, it was. I mean, yes, and the video got like an extra 1,000 views or something over this past couple weeks.
The password is the same as normal, right?
Yeah.
I am failing to connect over and over.
Fantastic. Love that. That's okay.
Is anyone else?
Oh
in
yeah,
here?
it failed to connect for me too, actually.
What is it? But there's a go. Okay, let me blow things up.
I'm getting in.
Where's my button I can press? Here. Give me a moment. I'm going to have to close this and reopen it, I guess. Or at least go to main menu.
Hello, Liv.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, it's Liv.
Sorry for the delay.
Alright, that
How you doing?
might work now. I just exited and reconnected. I'm doing good. You do sound exhausted. You doing good, Liv? That is a very dangerous chuckle.
I didn't even hear the chuckle.
I saw the thing light up.
If I say yes, will you not ask again?
Absolutely.
Okay, then yes.
Hey!
Huzzah!
I am
Good enough for me?
Connect again.
Failed to connect again?
Yep.
I'm getting in.
Alright, well, let me
Connecting.
close out the entire program then. Is this really just Tabletop Simulator's swan song and saying this time nobody connects? No, it's not as they can't see your maps, Jade. Nobody connects. That's...
No server
was-
for you.
I was the canary in the gold mine.
I feel like this entire campaign is disintegrating. Like, it's not just bad rolls. being dumped on someone. No, it's actively being hostile to being done.
I mean, the tabletop simulator. I mean,
You know
I
what
think
would be
the storyline is going great, personally. But I could be
know
very
the-
dead wrong on that if you guys
No,
dissent.
I'm talking from a technical standpoint.
Oh yeah, from
Yeah.
technical campaign, things are exploded. That's for sure.
Jade, you know what would be the absolute most hilarious thing we could do right now?
Ha!
I hit the connect button and it works for me and only me.
That would be amazing. No,
That
that would
would be
be absolutely incredible.
The girl who can connect to the thing that has not been able to connect to this game for the last how many weeks now? Yep, now failed.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still feeling too.
6 heavens and 7 hells. Can someone else open a game? Let me in and promote me and see if I can load maps. Maybe that's like.
Yeah, let me see
A
if I can do
thing?
it.
Yeah, it failed to load for me.
Yeah, I actually that one. So GD's actually notified me about it. It actually said Steam peer-to-peer connection failed for Admiral GD.
Jade, are you sure you're online?
You know what? I suppose I can't be certain of this.
Hang on,
Appearing,
hang on. I'm inviting you
appearing
now.
online because that's how I'm joining. It's just through Steam friends.
Yeah,
Right, but what if we're just hallucinating hearing her?
that is a distinct possibility.
Oh, yeah.
The question then is, what platform are you watching me on? Like, I stream on YouTube, and also if you look into the liminal space in between branches at Twilight, I also stream on that. So like, those are the two platforms, you know.
I also sent
I
Jade an invite.
usually watch just in a mirror.
You get the invite, Jade?
It says connecting.
Failed to connect.
Failed to connect for me too. I think.
Oh.
I think.
Is Tabletop Simulator just down?
Tabletop sim problem.
Okay.
I think it's a tabletop
Hold on,
sim problem.
let me try connecting to Liv real quick. I just got Magus's first. Let me. Password is the normal cool person password.
That is our normal cool person password. And Kobold, oh my god, you're gonna have a fun time with me. If you like this personality, you should try the other 3.
What personality? I don't have carefully curated subdivisions of my personality based on friends.
So I am checking the Tabletop Simulator Twitter page, and
Yeah?
the most recent tweet on there is from March 16th, 2023. So not a lot of help.
Jade, I
Hello?
wanna. Oh, is it loading? Hang on. So yeah, Jade. I think Tabletop Simulator might actually be dead because I thought this was me. Because I wanted to run a Betrayal at Baldur's Gate game for my polycule.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
most of us are in the same house, and none of them could connect either.
Okay, no, Tabletop Simulator's down.
So this might be a
So-
Tabletop
Yeah,
Simulator.
there's
How excited are people for Theater of the Mind today?
Hell yeah.
By which I mean I'm going to share my screen and we can just roll from there because
Yeah, sure, I'm fine with that.
I've developed elective aphantasia, so unfortunately I won't be able to think about things.
I know some people with aphantasia.
Don't worry. I have enough
Yeah.
Fantasia for all of us. It's fine.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yay! I'm gonna be a Taru.
Oh, those are mosquito bites. That's not great.
I crossed between 2 MMOs in that reference. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Anyways, everybody was in town gathering up gear and equipment and making giant mechs, as the case may be.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, what did I miss?
Normal activity.
Exactly
Okay,
what it says
so-
on the tin, my
Cece
friend.
built a robot.
Crab mech. Oh no, it's the crab mech.
So, Cece built a giant mech. It's actually her. You guys are going to be leveling up after the session, and I talked with Sprig about this because you guys are not going to be in Lonfell, and her next ability is literally make a giant mech that you can control, and it's like it's the thing you can do.
It's more like a forklift, really.
I mean,
All right.
forklifts are mechs. Haven't you seen Alien?
Look, some of my best friends are mechs, and let's be honest, every mech is a forklift at some point in their life. It's an awkward phase. They all grow out of it. Don't be racist.
So true, so true, bestie, so true.
So where was I during this bit? Because I feel like there's going to have to be some level of reaction.
You were eating your mic cables like it was a pile of spaghetti.
I believe, if I remember correctly, you were riding the mech, waving a cowboy hat around and saying "yeehaw."
But yes, we'll be backtracking into this so that you have an opportunity, and anybody else who wanted to backfill some narrative aspect of the last session, which is why we're bringing this up. So let's talk about it.
Don't worry, Flicker only assisted in what was it again? He made he got the raw resource and raw and refined resources.
Oh, is that all?
You did. I mean, would you want him to touch this mech? That's a recipe.
This mech is not going to explode.
Yeah. Otherwise, there'd be two mechs, and then they both explode.
I'm going to put the
So
image
what exactly
on
are these
screen.
materials made out of, and what is the function of this thing going to be? Because I was not aware that we were recruiting Jade Falcon in on this adventure.
No.
No, nobody wants to chime in. Just you're all just wiggling your toe on the floor sheepishly.
Imagine a crab.
CC's just been wanting to make this thing, and finally she had time. This is what happens when you give her time.
She's been working on this for a little while.
Yeah.
Like pretty much right from our first arrival when I put in the acquisition forms.
Oh boy.
But don't worry, it'll make a good raft. It'll make a good engine for the raft.
For the raft?
Yeah, for the.
Oh yeah, they also built a barge.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
barge. Thank you.
Yeah.
Why was I thinking raft? Barge,
Oh.
tomato.
Oh, Jade,
Hello.
just because it's on my mind.
Hi.
How do you feel about the Starfinder stuff? Have you not looked at it yet?
I haven't really looked into it yet because of. No. I've just never. I played the older Starfinder stuff. It's good. I respect it. I just never haven't seen a lot about the new stuff.
So I have very good news. You're
Killer
playing it right now.
bombs from outer space.
Hooray!
That is
You're playing it right now.
It's
me
fully
and my
compatible
other
with
DM
with.
Yeah, me and my other DM were looking at Starfinder, and it literally first page is, "Hey, have you played Pathfinder 2E? Good, everything works. There's just new
Oh,
classes
that's
and new
awesome.
races. Here you go."
Oh, that's real cool. You could, if it's actually genuinely compatible, you could do some
Yes.
real cool cross-campaign stuff.
After this campaign is done, we could literally just take our characters and just say, "Hey, a rocket ship comes down, and you take off." You could literally.
There's a
just do
couple
that.
ways that could
Oh.
happen in canon, but we don't have to get around to that.
I know. I'm just letting you know. 'Cause I figured it'd be something you would enjoy.
Yeah.
So this could become a Star Ocean campaign.
Pretty much it would be that. Yeah, it would be
Real
Star Ocean,
cool.
wouldn't it? Somewhere between Star
Yeah.
Ocean and Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Anyways, yes, I guess the question is, where is where is Rodelac going to be during the construction of the mech, which would also coincide mostly well with you being nose deep in the Great Mystery.
Well, I mean, I imagine that for a lot of the period of planning all these things out and writing out notes and figuring out the game plan of all of this, as well as keeping tabs of what the local government has been doing about in terms of Calidor.
Mhm.
And then when I come back, walking, when Rodalag comes back to see the giant mech and the explanation of, oh, don't worry, it doubles as a great engine for the barge, and then just Rodalag responding, why didn't you just make an engine for the barge?
Well, that wouldn't be. And Flicker's response. Well,
The
that wouldn't
barge
be-
came
well, that's not
after
practical.
the robot.
This is where
Plus, the engine can't move. That's an awful lot of resources to use up just for a barge.
this is
This
where
way, the
Soba
engine
raises.
moves.
Right. This is where Soba raises her hand and just goes, "Friend Rotalak, is this bad time to mention that Soba is now embodiment of nature?"
What?
Oh yeah, that happened too.
Yes. Soba is now actual god.
I can't believe it. I'm
wouldn't go that far.
I'm actually aghast. Somehow, all of you have managed to make me. What's the opposite of agoraphobic? Because I don't think I can trust myself being inside anymore.
Rodalak, while you were away, I also had a life-changing event. Had a really good fish. It was over there, the restaurant down there.
Is the fish the moon also?
No,
That's rough, buddy.
no, I don't think
That's
that.
I don't-
funny.
Not to the best of my knowledge.
You can't rule it out. As far as the Calidor stuff that you mentioned, the Hyacinth has not returned and is not scheduled to return for another 6 weeks or something. And this is
Okay.
the last time it left is when you had intercepted what was supposed to be your own kidnapping. So there's no news on the Calidor front until the Hyacinth returns, but he might not be terribly pleased.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Alright, fantastic. This is just, things I'm going to have to deal with. I'm glad that one of your commenters caught the joke that I was voting down, Jade.
No, yeah, it's very good.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, it's rough,
That's
buddy.
why. Yeah, that's why I said that's rough.
Yeah,
I haven't even seen the show when I
like
caught
the
that.
idea that I like the idea that just upon stepping out of that was a well-needed 20-hour nap after all the things that I had put myself through. My that's odd skill triggers immediately. It's just, hey, did you notice the multi-storied robot crab?
Oh yeah, we built it.
It's not so much a nap, so much as it's a comma.
You mean a
Okay,
coma?
you said
No, it's a
yeah,
short.
you
It's a
said-
short pause. It's a comma.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, short pause that divides beats citizens.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for jumping on that bait like a live grenade. I really appreciate that.
The worst part is he beat me to it.
Fair.
All right. So could one of you walk me through the sudden and drastic increase in militarization of our resources? And please don't just tell me we needed the engine on the boat to have legs.
Well, no.
okay, so the boat came after this. Again,
She's
Hey.
been.
I can give you guys a
It's a multi-purpose construction machine that I've been working on since we arrived, actually.
This is true. CZ had been running away for
Yeah.
short beats every once in a while in town, headed in the direction of the forage.
This
I
this
She's
was
been
the
running
reason that I came here.
I feel compelled to ask, considering this is a lot that is being presented to me at this stage. At any point, were you taking some of the raw materials that was going into what was potentially going to be the irrigation system?
No?
That's all I need to know. Because I was very concerned when I saw the giant metal legs, that I was thinking, oh dear, did we ever finish the pipes for our farming system? Because I'm hopeful that at some point we will get to the stage where we will have indoor plumbing. And I have reason to believe that there might be one or two people around here that are under the impression that our progress on that has been slightly impacted.
So was just gonna think.
Which is
why
more
would,
important?
Why would poop inside?
Having a big
Why
death
would-
rope.
The robot would be very useful for digging the ditches that lead the pipes. The construct, I mean, not the robot. Robot is not a word that exists in this universe.
I'm just thinking of the Kenku hearing like the backup sound of the construction mech that we've been built like it's a construction yard, and them going like, the interlopers have called the war drums. The beacon has set. They're coming. And it's just a dump truck backing up to dig the holes.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, I do prefer like the little mini that Jade has on the map of the crab mech, where it just looks like it's a giant boiler with arms and legs.
I need to grab that. That was
the machine of Qualish, I believe it's called. It's actually a regular magic item from D&D.
More like machine of crab. Crab.
Yeah, it is the Crabstructor bot.
Hmm. We require more pylons.
Hmm. Oh.
Do KWAL to search. Apparatus.
Apparatus. Okay.
Apparatus forward. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
It's very good.
The image is kind of blocking it. Yeah, for the viewers.
Oh, butts. Yes. I mean, honestly, that's also
The giant
accurate.
mechanical crab is in the way.
The giant mechanical crab is in the way of the other giant mechanical crab. Oh no.
I'm looking at the miniature of this mechanical crab and I'm thinking to myself, how are we not about to Robotnik this forest?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Speaking of Robotniking the forest.
I'm okay with that.
Honestly,
Spring starts the Judge Doom monologue about freeways.
are we about to Fern Gully this forest? Are
The
we
villain
gonna-
all along was Tim Curry.
as a sexy guitar monster. Our humanoid
Sludge them swamps.
sludge, yes.
Sober renounce oath speedrun.
No. Let's be honest. Based on Soba's personality, if they did, I feel like Soba would just wrestle the crab. That's what Soba's looking for. Like Soba,
Honestly, fair.
Soba's the kind of
mean-
nature god where it's like, yes, build your nature-destroying machine. Soba is looking for a fight.
I mean, Flicker already upgraded someone's sawmills in that like one small town on the way to the big tree.
Soba can carry the crab. Soba can suplex the crab.
You probably can.
Oh, I'll
Okay.
point out. Sorry. I just wanted
No,
to
go
say
ahead.
something mechanically. So, mechanically, if Soba's raging, she can wrestle an ancient dragon to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like literally as if she was the same size as it.
I wonder if that'll come in handy.
Yeah, giant instinct barbarian is actually ridiculous. I can wrestle gargantuan creatures like it's nothing.
Which is awesome.
I apologize. I've been completely derailed by an image that has done psychic damage to me, and I'm DMing it to you, Jade.
Are you gonna
It's
share
not
it?
important.
DM it to all of us.
Oh.
Yeah, we all have to see this.
Fine.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll put it on stream for everybody. Everyone has to see it now.
No,
can't-
not. It's not appropriate for the situation that we're in.
Understood.
What do I put it under? Collab cool people.
Yeah.
Screw it. All right. The more that I look at it, the more like, what is
that's not-
happening?
Yeah, that's not. Okay, well,
I told you.
we'll talk
Like,
about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
fair. Anyways,
Yes.
let us refocus as we... You know what? We're going Kautzark on this. Are you guys ready for this?
Mhm.
Count Zarkon.
Ready.
I am confused.
Kautzark is Kobold.
So the whole party was together, and then they found a guy who got exploded, and the guy who got exploded had a friend, and the friend exploded him, and they didn't really mean to explode him, but they actually did it, and they super were gonna die, but they didn't die because Soba decided that they're gonna save their life, and then they did really a bunch of cool stuff, and it was like woo, and then the horn started to sparkle, and now their horn sparkles all the time, and it's really pretty, but it also kind of makes it burn when they touch any sort of metal, and I think they might be a god, and if they are a god, that's kind of cool because it would be a nature god. But if they're not a god, I'm not really sure what that means because it's also kind of weird. Anyways, Cece might already be a god too because she makes a really big robot, and robots are basically gods if you think about it. So I think that Cece might be a god too, and she may decide to be a really fancy robot that's super big and super strong, and it can't be super heavy, which is not really amazing because it's going into a swamp, and swamps are really known for being not really friendly to things that are super heavy. So they also made a barge because the barge is going to be able to carry the robot, and the robot's going to be able to carry the robot and Soba, and the robot is going to be able to carry the barge across the land, and then they get to the water, the robot can go in the barge, and then the Soba can do walk on both places probably. I'm not really sure how because she might be taller than the swamp is deep. In that case, she could really go wherever she wanted. So then they started to walk out of the town after they had gathered all the supplies, and they found a whole bunch of mod runs.
You see this?
Oh
This is
yeah,
why
that's right.
kobolds.
Oh,
This is why
yeah, there's a bunch
kobolds
of
don't
mod
have
runs.
like written history because this is what their Bible would read like.
Yeah.
I haven't done a Kautzark recap in a while. I missed that. I should do that more often.
I'm just imagining every Kobold recap is like that one Weird Al song about the tool shop.
Oh, yes.
Just
yes.
imagine that like beat when it's quickly listing off things, but it's like listing off like events.
Kautzark was my first Kobold character that I played, and I did that sort of recap at the beginning of every session of that game. It was great. Anyways, that is actually genuinely what happened.
Yes. We found a big march of Modrons was where we left off.
Phrasing.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah, so yeah, I completely forgot that we found a lot of those little mechazoid little dudes that are not doing anything. Oh. Live down, live down. Oh, live up, live up.
Welcome back.
So yeah, I think the main question was last time. Okay, so do we just proceed to the swamp, or do we investigate the funny little construct dudes?
It's a higher concentration of them than what you've ever seen before.
It's a higher concentration of funny little construct dudes that can kill us.
So
Everything around here can kill us.
you can't like
No.
this is in the middle of the woods. This is
They can't kill Liv. They can't kill Soba. They can't kill Soba. They can kill the rest of us. They can't kill Soba.
I'm not sure what could kill
The
Soba.
rest of us are mortals.
I mean, I'm literally a unicorn now, I suppose, at this point. I no longer just have a unicorn horn. I am just a unicorn at this point.
There's a poly joke to be made there. Anyways,
I'm just trying to think of like a big buff cartoon unicorn horse, but that I'm sure I've seen somewhere, but I can't remember where right now.
Okay, so Purdy, you are in the woods. There is you are not far off from the swamp, and there is a whole bunch of Modrons around. I recommend that you talk amongst yourselves in character for a few moments to, A, get back into the swing of TTRPGing, and B, to decide what you want to do.
So, do we investigate the Modrons? Feels that's an awful large concentration of them.
I believe we
I
could
mean,
do
we
that.
could. All right, yeah.
Do we send Soba in first?
It depends if Soba's Discord can stop crashing.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
It depends on if Soba's Discord can stop crashing.
Mhm.
So yeah, I missed like half of that. So
I just asked if we want to investigate the small horde of funny little mechanoid dudes.
so I can't touch them. I will remind you, because they're made of metal.
You can hit them with your sword, though.
That is true. Like realistically, I'm just throwing my sword at them because I can't hold my sword for too long either.
I remember I gave you a thing that returns your sword, right?
Yes, you did.
So yeah,
So
you can-
basically, it's Thor without the hammer swing. It's just the hammer throw.
Mhm.
Actually,
You just need to get you the right
Soba.
kind of gauntlets.
Yeah.
Very true. Could you give me a nature roll?
Well, I'm really good at those, so okay. 21.
Okay, D20 roller. Oh,
You can punch them.
nice. I got a 19 plus.
No, this is for Soba. This is
Oh.
this is a Soba thing.
Well, that was a wasted 19 of that.
So
You can punch them. In fact, it would probably feel really good. Like, really good.
I have a minor question.
Yes.
Why can I punch them?
How would you like to introspect? Tell me about your own introspection on how to think about that. Because right now, all you can really instinctually tell is that you could.
So Soba kind of goes to her mind palace for a moment.
Yeah, tell me
It's
about
more
your
of a
thought
mind
process.
yurt. It's more of a mind yurt, really. But
Love that.
and as she kind of gets in contact with the well of natural power that she's connected to, the very force of life itself, she realizes she is the embodiment of life, but she can also control death. So by combining her origins as a necromancer with her new calling as a goddess of life, well, sometimes a forest needs to burn down in order to make new life. So punching the shit out of these Modrons is basically the same concept.
They're not natural.
Exactly. So, nature is going to reclaim them.
Can I
Mhm.
potentially try a perception check to see why there might be so many Modrons in the area?
Give me a few verbs first. Like, are you gonna just stand at the edge of the clearing and just stare, or are you gonna actually walk around? Give me something to go off of before you just roll dice.
Yeah. He asks if Soba can toss him up into the tallest tree.
So we'll ask you to take your butt plate off first.
Butt plate.
Because you're wearing plate mail. It's made of
Oh.
metal.
Oh wait, remind me, why can't you touch metal? Just to be
Because
clear.
I'm a nature goddess, I can't touch the impure.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Right.
For extended periods, like I said, it's more that we'll
Yeah.
get penalties for holding it, and it's more about
Yeah,
actively
but,
holding it than it is. Yeah.
Soba's
You got it.
mostly okay. My justification for this is Soba doesn't want to throw you the same way she would her sword. She wants to make sure that you, one, get where you need to go, which she could just do by just grabbing you and yeeting you, and two, that you get there safely, which does require a little bit more planning on her part. So So you
Flicker
take off-
being Flicker is appreciative of the thought.
Oh, she picks you up. She's very, very careful to only touch the leather parts of your armor, and with her hand on your butt, like run under, like, and she just kind of like underhanded, like throws you up like a grandma playing basketball.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, so Flicker manages to get up there, and then just climbs up to the top, and he looks out onto the area in front of them below to see what he can observe, if there's anything out
So,
of the ordinary with his spyglass.
going off in this direction here, there are waves of them. You can see them forming like generally concentric circles of like almost like a heat map of areas around. There's 3 tiers, one close in, one farther out, and one farther out beyond that. There is a lot of activity in the inner tier with much higher tier Modrons than you have seen before. And there is some sort of structure being built. You will not be able to discern more than that before you go back to the ground. And I'm using that 19 that you rolled before. I'm letting you keep that. That's why I didn't make you reroll it. I decided you deserved it.
Thank you. Even with my spyglass, I can't see anything.
You're 3 rings out. You are kilometers away. Like that's a large concentration, but we're talking like it would take half a day travel to go from the outer ring to the inner ring. You can see that there's stuff going on, but yeah, even with spyglass, it's on the cusp of vision. You know. This is not a something that would fit on one map.
I see. No, that's problematic. So I can pretty much deduce this is pretty much a small army. I can't deduct how much, but a small army at the minimum here. Oh my, that is not good looking. I'm trying to see. So I can't even like see really the shape of the building.
Not really. There are still some trees and forests. There's the reason you were able to recognize how many there are is because you were able to see part of them through a clearing. But you are still in the woods, not having quite reached the edge of the swamp yet.
Yeah, I want to say this is a bit of a task to get through for now. This is like one of those big side quests that actually have worthwhile content in there.
You might want to put a pin in that then. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. But depends on what the party wants. Anyway, Flicker then jumps off the tree and like, you know what? I'm just gonna roll a d20. Let's go with so I got a 10. Let me see my performance. Plus 11. Okay. Yeah, that's good enough. Flicker manages to like land without hitting any of the trees on the way down.
Hooray!
He glides down there.
Yay.
Well, and he pretty much reports, well, I can tell you one thing. We're better off investigating the swamp first. For one, there's a pretty significant army of Mydrons over there. Wait, have we figured out their names? I think we did.
I don't remember. Did you learn that from the...
I know we investigated
They were
them.
Modrons.
Okay.
Modrons from the last time we encountered them.
Yeah. Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
There's a
I thought so, but I was
well-
just second guessing myself. Because I haven't
There's
been
a
holding back on calling him that.
There is a significant number of Modrons in this area, and a couple kilometers off in that direction, they are building something big. However, it was too far away and it was too obscured for me to get a good look at it, even with the spyglass.
Jade.
Hello, I am Jade.
How I know like I've been kind of playing it up a little bit. How in tune with nature am I?
How to phrase this? Because that's a really sliding slope question, right? I'm going to say in the same way that CC is in tune with technology. I think that's a good way of phrasing it.
Okay. So that doesn't super answer my question, but so the reason I'm asking this question is if they're building something, am I
Yes.
able to kind of like instinctively intuit how damaging it is to the environment?
Oh boy! Oh boy!
That's what I'm getting at. Like, am I at like Captain Planet levels where like pollution will slowly kill me, or is it like oh, that's not good for the environment? I can just kind of feel it in my bones.
Still can't believe
So-
came from that as a name in that show.
So, Sova,
Mm-hmm.
I'd like for you to roll perception for me
Mm-hmm.
at disadvantage.
Oh boy, okay. So that first one is a natural 20 for 30.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, like, I know, I believe you. I'm just saying, oh yeah, that makes sense.
And the
Perfect timing.
second one is a 19 for sorry, 19 before modifiers, which then brings it up to 29.
God,
Perfection.
really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I rolled a 20 and then I rolled a 19.
Perfect timing.
I want to point out there is no shenanigans on my part because I'm using digital dice because I left my dice bag downstairs. So these ones I
worries.
literally can't beat with.
Look, if you were the kind of person that I thought would cheat at a TTRPG, I wouldn't have invited you to begin with. You know, I trust anyone here to be honest about their roles because I fully trust all of you to accept that it would be that if it's funnier to fail, that you'll go with it. Like,
Yeah. I know. It's just that like the one session where nobody has access to the tabletop game is the one where you start rolling good. That's just funny to me.
that is actually extremely funny.
Yeah, that's really funny.
That is very
So
funny.
that it's bad. This is a thing that is incomplete, but there is a pit of kernel of fear in your stomach about what will happen when it is. That said, it does not feel to be. It doesn't feel like it's a threat yet, but there is a hint of warning in that statement.
So
And yes, that's a little bit, just not a lot, and it's not going to affect you in any way up close, but they're a little bit hard to see for you specifically.
Your friends will be in for quite the surprise when they come and see a fully operational battle station.
wait, as in I can't perceive this thing?
As in, they're looking just a little bit like, yeah. It's like, you know, putting on someone else's glasses, but only the parts where you're looking at them, and only
Oh
like.
boy.
And this isn't going to be a problem up close or anything. Just to clarify, this is a
Yeah.
well, that's weird, sort of feeling.
Mm-hmm. So Soba will then lean down to Flicker and go, friend Flicker, you are well versed in how you say blowing the shit out of things, yes?
Well, I don't do them intentionally, but yes.
She's gonna point at that building. Soba would like to make a request of shit being blown up.
Do you have that bad
I
of
would
a
like to
sense?
commission an explosion.
Oh, so you get
Soba, sorry.
It's okay.
Soba's gonna nod and she's gonna like, building over there is not natural. He's going to destroy everything around it. Soba gets the feeling this would not be good for, well, Lunfell, New World, or Soba. And then she kind of points to like her horn, which will not retract anymore and is giving off a almost constant like glow. Like, Soba's aware she can just like revoke the oath, but like Soba does not break promises like unless she absolutely has to. Like if it was going to kill her, she might, but even then, that's still, you know, even then she might not. She might just let it kill her at that point, because at that point it's like made a promise, failed to keep it. Oh no, my kid will die.
Do you make this this public to the party though? Is that question specifically the part about yeah. Could you
Yeah,
well,
so-
what am I saying? Please say. Wait. Please expound. I apologize.
If you mean about like the oath?
Yeah, is that something you said
yeah,
you're saying out in character?
Soba would
Okay.
Soba would have brought up the oath when it happened, like, because she's the kind of person who's like, yeah, I'm not hiding the fact that I have a giant glowing horn on my head now.
Fair.
She's not that kind of person. Like, if she got bit by a zombie, first thing she would do was tell everyone, and the next thing she'd do was, like, you know. But moving on to happier things.
Hooray!
Like, environmental destruction.
I'm
Hooray!
enjoying the idea of Soba trying to hide her horn. Like, she's just always got a hand up. Or she's conveniently always behind, like, very large things.
I'm picturing
she's
Soba
wearing
putting a cloak hood up, and it's just tinted with the horn.
I was gonna say a beanie, but yeah.
Yeah.
Go to
CC,
Vampire the
and-
Masquerade. Sorry.
CC, Koss, Votalak, what are you doing during this? I just want to make sure that everyone's...
Mm-hmm.
Mostly, I'm trying to get myself back up to speed with a lot of the things that are happening here, as well as the sudden "I am now an avatar of nature" thing. I imagine I'd probably want to look into that a little bit.
You were actually present for that. That was
Right.
yeah, when she was able to heal what is it, Tanika?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. I thought that had evolved in a different direction while I was gone.
No, that you were there for that. That's something that both you and Rodelback were present for.
It's just we kind of expounded on it last time, but it's mostly
fair.
just details.
Okay.
I mean, it's an unsubtle parallel to CC. Like it's. I'm not breaking new narrative ground here, you know.
All right. So what was we were going? You said that we were planning on going after the Modrons next, or were we going to the swamp?
I mean, originally it was the swamp.
Original plan had been swamp.
Right.
Yeah.
But this,
And
Can,
has that changed?
can I say it, please?
Go ahead.
You can try.
Of course.
I don't know if we're I don't know if we're quite equipped for an army of those things.
I mean, do we have to go down the violence route with them, or was that like?
I mean, no, but
don't think
It-
they're
it
gonna
can
have a whole lot of
escalate.
choice.
yeah, but the idea is that it can escalate in that direction, and we got to be prepared for that opportunity. That's the problem. If I remember, they were not being very forthcoming the last time we talked. That's why it escalated.
I mean, also, we don't really need to destroy the Modrons. We just kind of need to blow up their building. If anything,
Yeah,
slowing
we
them
could-
down might be the best we can do at this point.
Yeah, we can just, Mission Impossible it by sneaking past the army and sabotaging it.
Man. I hate to say it because it's kind of rude, but I mean, Cece could probably do it. She's like half Modron at this point.
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
I don't think that's how that works.
I mean,
I
she's
don't
made
think
out of
that's-
Modron metal. Her
That
left
is-
leg is made out of Modron metal.
Cece has an affinity
Yeah, it's
to the
definitely how it
Modrons, is how I would phrase it. That
Rule over them as their dark and evil queen.
CC is to Madron as Soba is to nature.
Soba is to that tree over there. And just that tree. I'm sorry, I was making a joke, I'm sorry.
right then.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah. So Zoba has put forth the idea that we should probably blow up the building. Like, just build a big explosive, put it on the side, and just blow it up before it's finished. But that's just Zoba's vote.
Flicker does make sure to explain that he noticed at least 3 layers of these Mydrons. There is a significant amount of them.
So let's break down for a moment the
Break
different
down?
ways that we
Sure. Someone starts dancing.
You don't know
Oh,
how
I
to
thought
break
crying.
down, break down.
Sorry, do
Yeah,
go
I
on,
was
Magus.
Yeah.
Let's
Sorry.
try to break down what we need to be what they are planning on doing, the pros and cons of them actually accomplishing this, and the different strategies that we can go about to get rid of to address this. So obviously, they are constructing a very massive structure that have we figured out what it's going to be doing, aside from the assumption that it might be doing some method of weather control.
I tried
Not
my
even that.
I tried my best to examine it, but it was too obscured. Even with my spyglass, I just couldn't see it. It's too far away.
Okay. And how long have we been? How long have they been working on this thing? Has it been like a couple of days or a couple of years?
Well, I don't think I was able to determine that, was I?
There was no notice of any goings on from the people who have been in this area, i.e., Tonica, or the people who are, rangers in this region.
This is like a few days old at most.
Okay, so they've been at this for not very long. All right.
Yeah.
So, the downside of them continuing to go on with this unabated is that they will cause some kind of anomaly that will be potentially detrimental to us. Considering the last one we ran into was some method of weather control, and the other things revolving around the tibium that we've been finding has been pretty toxic to the environment on whole, but we don't know the full extent of what that's going on with. The other side, so our options to deal with them are either A, we can recon and get more information about them to see if what they're doing is actually a problem, or if this is just how this wacky region works.
Soba's going to raise her hand real quick.
Yeah.
Soba does not mean to interrupt. Building is bad. Very bad. No real explanation other than that, but
well, considering that, so right now our options are: 1, we recon to get a better understanding of what they're doing and not draw attention to ourselves in case whatever it is that they're building has something to do with our presence. 2, we go in and try to sabotage it immediately, in which case we will be probably instigating a full-scale war. Or 3, we attempt to negotiate. But the last time we did that, I don't think that went particularly well.
Magus,
But
check a
the
DM.
boon that yeah, I just did.
Okay.
But the boon that we potentially have is we might be able to have some kind of communication going on with Cece over here. The thing is that I don't know if we have enough information to be able to address this right now.
Cece's been very quiet throughout this, I might note.
I will be totally honest, I had a very bad bout of dissociation, and I completely did not absorb like the first 5 or 10 minutes. Until you
I was wondering.
That's okay. Long story.
No, I've been trying to like catch up, and I don't know what's going on fully. There's no
long
drum
story
building.
short.
I know that.
Long story short. Big building. Soba wants to blow it up. I think that would cause a war that we might not be well equipped to handle. So our options are: we recon, we try to sabotage it, or we negotiate. Either way, I don't think at this junction we have enough knowledge or equipment to be able to address either side of this. So it might be worth like asking some people that are not us to do a scouting thing for them. Maybe we ask the Gripply or some people in town, if only because if this does happen to be something in direct relation to us, they will see us coming from a mile away.
I mean,
What do you think though, Cece? Do you think they might be people that we could communicate with, or do you not? The Modrums, I mean.
Well, the last ones that we've interacted with either completely ignored us or attacked us on sight, so... It seems like a bit of a coin toss.
So I have a question, but I don't know how Sopa would voice it. So I'm just gonna ask out of character.
Sure.
Cece, how far has Cece's tibium infection gotten any worse? Like, how metal is Cece right now, or is it just stagnated where it was?
It's the same as it was.
Okay, I wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Because I remember that was a
Still
plot
purely
point,
the
but I
shinbone.
don't remember anything.
Still purely the shin bone.
Okay. Sopa just kind of folds her arms and she goes, well, this could be... How long ago did those kids come out here?
I think it was like 2 days now.
No, it was a week recovery that while you were in
Okay,
town
right.
doing the grant and unraveling the mysteries. So it would be about 10 days, give or take. And it was just Tanaka. The other one was met them at the camp somewhere in this area here, or not there, somewhere around
So-
here.
So Soba gestures in the direction of the building, and you kind of notice that she kind of like takes a couple of tries to point directly at it, and she goes, "This is 110 What, assuming not more buildings, what would tiny robots achieve in time we are in swamp? This has to be stopped now, or at least slowed down."
well, she seems to feel awfully strongly about this.
Soba made promise.
I will say that there is not much progress. Like, you can tell that they're building something. You can tell there's not much progress. Like there is a lot of Modrons here. This is true, but
Oh, I thought
There's
there was,
no-
like, I thought
there's
there
no
was a
indi-
scaffolding or something. This entire time I thought
It's
there
not
was
a
a scaffolding based on
completed
your
structure.
description.
It's just like...
yeah.
Okay, sorry, I misunderstood.
No, that's
that.
fine.
The way you
apologize.
were talking, I was expecting like a scaffolding and like maybe a few walls.
No. This
okay.
is. You can tell that something's going on down there. It looks like it might be construction just based on knowledge of people moving, but you don't really, like I said, this is a couple kilometers away. This is not like I'm gonna walk up there and strap some C4 to it. This is like over there. It looks like something's going on, huh? That's what the kind of vibe we're going on with here.
Jade, can
Hello?
I do something that is not super supported mechanically, but would be very cool?
Always. That's like how I DM.
Maybe sure.
Please.
So what Soba would like to do is she's gonna kneel down, and she places like her palm on the ground, and she closes her eyes, and she uses her necromantic abilities to reach out and see if there's any any corpses buried underneath us, or skeletons, I should say.
Yes.
There. All right. Soba's gonna find the one that's closest to us, and she's going to raise it from the dead.
Roll. Roll nature, roll arcana. Both. Give me this. What each is.
Okay, so nature. That's it's a 29 again.
Oh my god.
Arcana, I have a +0 in, so there's no way this is gonna be any good.
Well, I want to hear what the number is. It's going to.
That's a 16.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of like these Path Builder dice.
So, there are below you several skeletons. Something that you've been able to roughly passively sense, your entire time here. There are significantly more the further south that you've traveled.
Oh, interesting. But that's something to figure out later, because so what Soba's going to do is she's going to cast Raise Dead. And so mechanically this is supported, but remember that in the Gripply power log we did, where there was that scarecrow, right? And so what Soba's going to do is she's going to summon up a skeleton, and it's going to look different than when last time she did it. This time, when the skeleton comes up, it has a full microbiome, like moss and lichen and small insect, basically anything that was kind of going through the soil and living on the skeleton underneath. It just kind of symbiotically sticks to it. And it looks more like a lot more of a natural undead, for lack of a better term. And Soba's going to Soba's going to give the. I figured I would. I feel like the life magic would alter her necromancy a bit, so that's what I'm.
I like that. Yeah.
So Soba's going to turn to this undead, and she's going to put her hand on its shoulder and go, "Friend." She's going to point to the building. If building starts damaging, environment around it, more so than it is now, you come get Soba. Nod if yes.
It nods.
And she just kind of turns it to face the building. Turns to the party. Is like, if skeleton comes running towards us covered in moss, do not shoot his Sobas.
Okay, good to know.
Gotcha.
That's certainly a solution to the problem.
Yep.
Tribe used to do this. We would set sentries around so everyone could sleep at night instead of having people awake and tired in the morning.
All right. The sentry will stand there. Sorry. If you're going to use any other necromantic magic, you will have a negative modifier because you are maintaining this bond between you and this creature. That's how I'm going to rule this.
That's fine.
Yeah. So if you try to use it for anything else, you may have to drop your bond with this creature, which will make it crumble instantly, of course.
Yes.
Okay.
Luckily,
as long as we're with that.
I'm a barbarian, so I have other toys.
Yeah, thankfully she doesn't rely on using the necromantic magic.
Yeah, she's still not super comfortable with it, but she realizes that this is kind of necessary. Someone needs to keep an eye on this. We don't have time to go get Lonfell people for it.
There is a little tiny feeling in the back of your head that says, "Is this natural now?" You do not have an answer.
Sobo will think about it later.
It's a homegrown skeleton.
Hooray!
I mean, it's an undead, but it's also imbued with life magic. So I think that's where the confusion's coming from.
We found the loophole.
No, life magic versus death magic is kind of like, one of the core themes of things, right? Anyways.
I figured you'd appreciate it, then.
Oh, I do. Okay. A sentry has been set.
Yeah, and Soba will kind of gesture, be like, it's okay to move on now. Skeleton friend will get us if things get bad here.
Are you going to return to moving to the souths?
And Soba's ready to go if everyone else is.
Yeah, we can continue on to the swamp.
I'm going to show this really pretty map that I made that no one can see. Like,
Yeah.
unironically,
A pretty map that just doesn't load for
man.
anyone.
The poison swamp. Yay.
Mm. Damn, I can't.
literally
believe we
nobody
just
can
figured out
can load in with and see this on, like, even when Tabletop Simulator wasn't porked.
I can't believe this entire time. This entire time, Jade was Hidetaka Miyazaki, and no one didn't tell us.
Look, I'm a big fan of poison swamps, always have been. I mean, this is not a poison swamp, to clarify.
That sounds
Look.
like something the poison swamp would say.
Look, Jade. All I'm saying is, Jade, if you start giving us like big, strong female warriors to fight who are inexplicably barefoot, I know where you live. It's in Japan somewhere.
Excellent, noted. So, I would like you to tell me, and look, it's going to be foregone that you will find the road. There is, in fact, as you have learned, a pathway underneath that goes through the swamp. I want you to, in an interesting way, tell me how you find it. You're aware of its existence, and narratively, we can all tip our hat. But what I want from you is I want you to tell me the scene that plays out for your characters to discover it. You see what I'm getting at?
Huh?
Okay, so, let me be...
I'm sorry, I might be stupid.
Okay, so this might be forgotten information. So, one of the things that you learned from Tanaka was that there is a pathway through the swamp. It is a bit below the water level, about knee-deep. And it's a road. It's a road that goes through the swamp. However, it is empty on all sides. To the left and to the right, there it drops down, and you can even feel underneath the road. If you slip off and your legs dangle beneath it, it appears to be simply a suspended road through the swamp. This is information that you have gathered. Finding it is your current task, because it's under the water.
Okay.
So did we decide that?
What was that, GD?
I think we lost GD.
I think he's gonna disconnect.
Yep.
Do it.
That's gonna. Yep.
Yep.
There you go.
Oh.
Best part is I have a solution, but I don't want to hog the limelight. There you are. Hi.
Yeah, I was just asking. Did we say that we wanted to build the raft when we get to the swamp, or did we bring it with us?
We were gonna build it when we got here.
Okay.
Yeah, the idea
Yeah.
was, it's a prefab, basically. Like, all the pieces are already cut and everything, we just have to assemble it when we get here.
Okay.
So we're at the edge of the swamp, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. I find a stick that sort of branches and makes sort of a Y shape, and I'm going to attempt to douse for bridges.
You mean dows?
Yeah, dowsing.
Okay. I was gonna say
Dowsing
like
for
there's no.
roads.
I was gonna say there's no fire here. What are you doing? So, did Jade step away? What's?
I think she
Yeah,
might
Is
have.
that it? Is that the end of the statement? You're just going to... Okay. I was... Okay.
Walk along with the stick, and I'm going to try to use it to douse where the thing is.
I guess we'll roll occult then. Sure.
Okay, that's a 30.
I think tabletop sim was the reason we were having bad rolls.
It sure seems that way, honestly.
Tabletop Sim's dice are weighted.
Which is even funny when you consider that I was using the same dice.
Yeah.
Okay, if it's gonna be that simple, then sure, yeah. After a little while, you are able to sense a faint magical sense beneath the ground, and the dowsing rod does dip as expected. Now you're still on the ground at this time, presumably.
Yeah.
I assume that CC and the spider mech are constructing the barge and putting it together.
Yes.
I point to the bridge so that CC can check it out with the robot.
Mm-hmm. Do you have questions or?
Well, we were assembling
Verbs.
the barge so that we don't need to rely on the road.
Yeah, but knowing where the road is useful.
Because the road probably leads somewhere.
Of course.
It's what roads do.
And the road is like a reasonable distance down. How deep can your mech go, or does it like float?
Should handle a decent depth. It being like, I believe it's huge, so like
Mm-hmm.
big old crabble legs, it can probably handle like up to about 12 feet of water before worrying about like waterlogging itself.
Nice.
By the way, I liked how the assumption was that Flicker isn't helping in the assembly process, by the way.
I really just need the opportunity to acclimate with the new hardware.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get like eyeballs on what we're looking at. I'm sorry. Your camera's a little your field of view's a little low, Jade.
Yeah, it's because I wanted to just show the swamp itself and not the whole table. But this is set. This is set dressing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This is ambiance.
Okay.
Rather than anything individually specific, I'm looking for you guys to,
Okay. I wish I had speak with animals.
Does no one have speak with animals?
No. It's
I don't have
believe it
any
or
magic,
not.
so I don't
Yeah.
have magic for that kind of thing.
So as a barbarian, you'd think that I would have access to it because like
least as
barbarians
an
in
option, yeah.
Pathfinder are like, yeah, barbarians are very, very nature inclined in the system for some reason. But yeah, I just do not get it. I get the ability to like subjugate undead and make them tell me what they know, but not animals for some reason.
Weird.
I mean, I imagine you still talk to animals.
I mean, yeah, but they can't. Yeah, but like it's like calm.
That is true. I mean, with the displacer.
Yeah.
So no one has any reaction to finding a weird road that is beneath the literal ground that you're standing on, leading into a swamp that is self-contained on all sides with no apparent supports.
Well,
So you guys are just cool
I
with
did
it.
have.
I
I did have one thing I was going to do, but I was waiting for the dowsing thing and the barge to be done.
Okay.
So I was going to take her sword. She's gonna unscrew the pommel, like make sure to only touch the non-metal parts of her sword.
Sure,
Gonna
sure.
Pull out the Soul of Wish and hand it to whoever's not doing something to hold. It's gonna screw the pommel back on,
I guess me.
Okay.
and then she's going to just yeet her sword at the road to see if anything happens.
The stone should chip or show a mark. It does not.
Does the sword go into the stone at all? Because remember, this
Nope.
sword was a 20 strength barbarian throw. Oh,
Yes.
this-
It clinks off.
Okay.
And skitters and like you can hear it clink even though it's beneath the water. And you can hear it clink and then it will just settle into the water.
Can
so
I?
we'll sorry.
Go
Can I
ahead.
just real quick just finish? So I was gonna hold out her hand and have her sword just fly back to her, and then put the scroll back in, scroll it up, put it on her back. So I didn't want us to get on a thing, and then Jade go, Soba, where's your sword? All the
No,
wish rolls
it's
out."
fine.
Yeah,
What I'm going to do. I'm already like feeling really uncomfortable here because it's raining, it's gross, it's damp, it's mussing up everything about me. But I'm going to crouch down near the road, and I'm going to examine it, and I'm going to be using my keen recollection based off of what we had previously to confirm if this road is made of tibium or another material that we are familiar with. Do I need to make a roll for this?
Give me an Arcana, but let me clarify something that I apologize if I wasn't clear on. If you're on the ground, the road is underground. You'll have to dig to find it. If you're in the water, it's about knee deep.
Yeah, I think she shot it in the water.
yeah. Yeah, so,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
why-
I mean,
that's why
for Rodolak, if Rodolak wants to touch the road, then either you're reaching into the water or you're digging a hole in the ground
Well-
nearby, which is going to be
good
very
thing
wet
I
as well
have-
because it's groundwater.
Well, with Soba's help,
Sorry.
we could probably dig it up fairly quickly.
Well,
Go ahead, Rodolak.
With the predictive purchase that I have
Hey.
swamp boots for
True.
this, and I have a stick with me, like a large
Mhm.
Magus, I think
Yes.
you can save using it for the swamp boots because we've made extensive purchases just for this occasion.
Yep, we got
I
waiters
wanna-
ahead of time.
They've got you covered, so you have waiters right now, Magus. You don't need. Basically, yeah, you can continue on, but yeah, you already have those.
We
So
all
you're good
have
there.
it. We had to get
Okay.
special ones made for Soba.
So what I could probably do is I could probably like poke with the stick, maybe get a feel for it, because I could probably determine by the sound of it as well as the the how yielding it is when I stab into it. Because even though the sword clinked off of it, that doesn't necessarily mean that the hardness is uniform. It
True.
could possibly just mean that its resistance against sharper impacts, and it might actually yield to slightly slower impacts or something like that.
Mhm,
So I don't have we don't have tabletop sim right now. I need to go get my dice,
That's
unless you want to roll it in here.
Either way, I can roll it in here, or you can grab your dice. I don't mind if you want to go grab.
I will go grab my dice.
Yeah.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back in like a minute.
Shh. Sure.
I had a
Yeah, I was
question
gonna
for a
say,
thing
we
that
could-
you had said a little while ago because, I was under some impressions of things already.
Please.
So, when you mentioned we have no reaction to seeing this road in this self-contained swamp with no source for its water. So, we knew about the road in advance, so that's not that
Yes.
surprising to me. But the swamp with no source to its water, that confuses me and is like immediately alarm bell ringing.
Yeah.
What part of this new continent?
I have been under the
you not-
impression that this was a regular swamp and had a source for its water.
So CC
that's
would have
kinda-
definitely researched this. So I'm going to give you some information that you would know. The map that we've been using. Yeah, let's go back to it right now. Where is the world map that we've been using? This was created when this part is what was known,
Ooh,
and the area north of the mountains is sketched in. Anything to the west of the river is sketched in. And what I'll tell you is what I can tell. You know what? Just give me a roll. Just give me some intelligence-based roll. I have
Sure.
no fear that of you not.
this feels like a engineering type thing. This
It
is
absolutely
within
is,
civil
yeah.
engineering
Mhm, mhm.
wheelhouse. And that's a natural 19, so 33.
The dice today, my goodness.
I know, right?
This part of the map is almost certainly incorrect. This what you would surmise is that this river, which is a fairly large river containing all the runoff from all the mountains coming into here, which by accounts that you would have heard is a large and fast-moving river, likely spills out into the delta somewhere in this area. So this is a delta that before it gets to the sea. So this is, yeah, it's not. The water source would be here, but this area in here is slightly raised up, and I'll just give this to you for free. But this river is actually in a bit of a deeper channel. So the water is coming down here and then feeding the delta this way. Does that make more sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stole my
That-
It was just the way that you put it immediately confused and alarmed me.
Yeah, it's something that I hadn't been clear on before, because it was supposed to be like, wait a minute, because it literally is just a diegetically incorrect map.
All right, I have my dice. Got my lucky red die that flashes when I roll a 20.
Watch, it's gonna be a 1. It's gonna be a 1.
All right, so you said Arcana check, yes?
Yes.
That is a 20.
Oh
Beautiful.
my god!
Holy cow.
Ooh.
The dice have returned. You have reclaimed the mandate of heaven, all of you.
Look, all I'm saying is we're becoming gods. That the dice are reflecting that.
So, you are correct in a very interesting way. It does
That's the
yield
worst kind of
more.
way.
It does yield more to staff, more than stone slightly should. It deforms a little bit, with almost like a rubbery feel to it, and then springs back to its shape. There is a.
Made of oobleck.
There is a strong enchantment on here that appears to. Yeah, roll me some history, society, or something in that vein.
I will go with. Do I have history? I don't think history is a thing in this. There's lore. I could do lore.
That works. Again, when I say skills, I am giving you ideas for skills. I absolutely want you to
okay.
Pick a
Well,
skill and then convince me why it's those skills to roll.
Yeah, I mean, I'm using keen recollection on this one, so.
Okay.
I rolled a 3 on that, but with my skill, I can swap out my academia with another Arcana roll and roll again.
Yep.
And I rolled even lower. I rolled a 2. But that is
Well,
still
we're
a
back.
15. It's
We're
a
back,
15.
folks. We're back.
Still a 15.
You glean no information as to how, but it would be. But I will say that it would be very comfortable to walk on.
But this isn't made of tibium, then.
No, not even close. No, it appears to be made of stone. Just stone that feels very soft and comfortable to walk on.
Okay.
Basically, they paved their entire road with magical kitchen floors.
Pretty much.
The tree looked easily cleaned and also soft to walk on.
We'll call it flubberolium. Because nothing says something that you would want to spread across your floor like a non-Newtonian fluid that accelerates all mass impacted against it.
Honestly, it sounds fantastic.
Do whatever you want. Drop your kitchenware. Spill your dinner. Throw your baby, and the baby will be fine.
Perfect.
At least
No
until
notes.
the baby rockets through the ceiling.
And if it's anything like real world flubber, it'll give kids cancer. That's real.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they made a flubber toy to coincide with the
Mhm.
movie. Hasbro did, and it was a carcinogen,
Carcinogen.
and it
Mhm.
actually started like giving kids like really bad sicknesses, and a lot
Mhm.
of those kids have grown up and they've got cancer from interacting with this stuff as children, and all
It's
of
not
this
great.
stuff. All of the remaining product that they had to take back from the thing, because there was no way to get rid of it. They couldn't burn it because it would be too
Mhm.
polluted. They couldn't like throw it in the ocean for obvious reasons. They couldn't like do anything with it. There's actually underneath
Really?
the parking lot of the Hasbro HQ is the entire product line of Flubber just buried underneath the tarmac, and
Mhm.
they can't do anything. And because it's such a absolute
Biohazard.
nightmare, biohazard emotionally, environmentally, Hasbro cannot sell or move their headquarters at all because the property value is basically zero.
No
Negative
lie,
land?
this sounds like a really sick plot for a Spy Kids sequel.
Oh my
Mhm.
god.
The
Yeah,
value of the
the-
land is
the-
actually negative because the land it has an inherent need that it must be maintained. So it's actually a negative value on the land.
Oh yeah, that's also they have to actually repave their parking lot like every few years
Yep,
because because the asphalt as the asphalt wears away, the flubber starts leaking up.
It's
Oh
real
my
bad.
God.
That's genuinely terrifying.
Yes.
Yeah.
You should not get fun and happy fun ball.
Yeah.
This sounds
Why
like
you don't
plot.
want happy fun ball?
This sounds like the plot of a 2000s Disney kids movie.
It really does.
Yeah.
You're so right.
Sorry. There's there's one more part of the story.
Silly thing. You finish.
Okay. So there is this I don't remember which university it is, but one of the universities in England came up with a new type of asphalt that after like a few months of not being driven on will start to heal itself and get rid of its own wear.
Oh yeah.
Hasbro literally started funding it, so the next time they have to repave
Mhm.
their parking lot, they can just use that instead, and then just close their parking lot for a few months every few years.
Yeah, I
Oh
think
my God.
New Zealand is actually investing in that too. It's really cool tech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, Sprig,
It's
let's
just self-healing asphalt.
Is
Yeah.
it good as
Sorry.
Roman cement? Sorry, Sprig.
Let's go.
It's probably the same sort of thing as Roman cement, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've heard, yeah.
So, I looked it up just because you mentioned it and thought it would be interesting to see more of the story. And this is just a much sillier story that is almost certainly fake because it's on Daily Mail. But they're talking about they have created a hydrogel capable of learning.
Oh no!
That they taught how to play Pong,
I hope.
and it has
that's
improved
fake.
by
Oh my God.
10% with practice.
That's
They
Oh,
don't share, and they don't cite any sources, but they say that it exists.
I have received additional information. The Flubber story. Because Flubber failed so hard, it was what led to Hasbro doing a Hail Mary and letting the lady who invented Barbie just go ham because they didn't want to let a woman lead a toy line because she's a woman, but they were in such financial straits, they're like, fuck it, let the girl's doll go. If we fail, we fail. Like, literally, they were so broke, they got over their misogyny for like half a minute. And that's what saved their company was Barbie.
yeah.
It's
And
Incredible.
Sprig,
Incredible.
yeah. And Sprig, that's an amazing story if true, but that is a load-bearing if.
Yeah. They have no sources cited, and they just have like a couple of pictures of the hydrogel brain, as they put it, and it's just like
Uh-huh.
a scoop of ice cream in like a saran wrap thing with some electrodes in it.
Oh, that's perfect.
Oh
Oh,
my God,
I kind of
I
respect it
love
because that's so
that.
ridiculous. Okay. Anyways, refocusing.
I don't think it's actually ice cream, it just looks like it.
No, I get you. So refocusing. Yeah, the walkway would have been at some point very walkable. Does anybody else want to do any arcana on it?
I could.
I
go for
guess
one more.
Clicker would, because we're talking about architecture. So
Yeah.
Let us see what the dice say. Roll that.
19 on mine.
Oh, that's okay. Now we're starting to get back into the roll of things. Let me check. 7 plus my Arcana. 7 plus 14, 21.
Seven's not a terrible roll. So the sorry, space for a second there. You can sense a little bit of magical weave. Like you can't not really cast spells, but you have studied enough magic and can sort of like see a bit of the weave, right, Magus? Right, Erlak?
Sorry, say that again.
You can see a little bit of the magical weave through the study of Arcana, right?
Yeah, just a little bit.
The weave is tied off in a way that shouldn't be possible.
Now, in terms of tied off, are we talking like the knots that you would expect on a sailing vessel, or are you talking like they just kind of stop?
Like a hot dog.
It's a little bit hard to parse exactly how it ends, but then there's no way that you could learn just from looking at it.
Yeah.
But it is tied off in a way that you can't really sense what would be defined as an upper limit on the spell's length, on the spell's duration.
Mm-hmm. I am curious. Cece, this is not like any material that you've worked with before, correct?
No.
Okay.
It's the thing, CC, but
it's. Do you think it would be worth possibly like taking out a sample or something like that for later? We might be able to get a better understanding of it back in a controlled environment, but also, there could be a benefit to having paved roads like this back at Knife Point.
It is a fascinating material.
I too would like to
I mean,
study
if we're
it.
able to take a sample, it wouldn't hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good
Well,
thing
we'll
I
be able to-
brought these along. He presents several shovels.
We just need just one brick's worth. We don't want to like start doing a whole excavation thing. Just for later, so we can look.
Well,
into it.
unless you want to get it from the water, we gotta dig.
I mean, I'm going to have to dig if I go in the water anyway. So let's probably go with the one.
No, wait, isn't the way it's been described as like some of it is here on land, but like under the
I really feel
Soil?
I really feel it describing this. I guess I apologize. Yes, this extends from where there is water into where there is land, but it's at like knee depth or more. So on land, it's just buried under the ground, and in the water, it's buried under the water and leads forward. I apologize if for apparently I butchered the descriptions.
That was clear to me. I just think Magus might not have heard it.
No worries. No, I think a few people have misunderstood that, so I'm taking the full blame on that. But yes,
I will have the Crabble bot help excavate the soil down to road level at least.
Okay.
The fine precision work's probably not within its wheelhouse, but they
Yeah.
save us a couple hours of digging at least.
Give me a roll for strength from the robot.
Not 20, but I have no idea what its modifiers are.
I'm gonna give it a plus 4 for that. Just so if you can write that down.
What? Is that like the fourth nat 20 this session?
I think so.
What's
I
the
got a
lowest any of us
19
have rolled?
was my
Like a
last roll, and this
16?
time was a 20.
You
I
are
rolled
able
a
to
nine.
dislodge. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, just for the lowest roll tonight has been me with a 16 with a 0 modifier.
Well,
rolled a
and
15.
GD's 7.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed
I
that,
rolled.
sorry.
I rolled a 15 when I rolled that 2.
Yeah, but you're
So-
using physical dice.
So does that make it better or worse?
I don't know. I didn't think it all the way through.
E.
So it does have a +4 strength.
Yes.
It's the official one on it too. So
Cool.
yeah, unfortunately they don't give me a stat block. I just have to go through like 6 different pages of like separated text blobs.
Huh. That's unfortunate. Well, you were able to remove one of the bricks. In doing so, the mortar of around that brick and some of the area around it, for lack of a better word, deactivates. Not a large area, just, there's a little bit in each direction, like a pace or two. But trying to harvest more of it would definitely cause some damage to the to what could be considered an artifact, if you will. But you are able to get a brick out.
Can I examine the area around it to see, like, or the brick itself to see if it? I think we established that the brick is like magically weaved together.
Yes.
Right. I think we might have to examine what exactly the brick is made of.
Stone.
Because I don't. Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
enchanted stone, right?
Exactly. Enchanted stone.
Is there like runes or anything around where the brick that we pulled out?
There
Like
is
on the
not, though you can sense that it is enchanted.
Hmm.
Basically, any person in this party could sense that. That there is some form of enchantment on it.
So it seems. Hmm. So no runes. Rock's enchanted.
Yeah. And you can certainly start following the path whenever you want. I just wanted to make sure that this was, investigated at least a little bit for consideration, because it felt like you guys were,
no, I'm trying to think of like other questions. Like normally the answer is like, oh, it's these runes that are doing it, but there's no runes. So I'm like, the magic clearly only works so long as it's in contact with the other stones, which is clear. I don't know what it can be, like, if the stone is regular but enchanted. Still, I guess we can take the stone as a sample and examine the stone. It's the only thing we can really examine.
Yeah.
If there's nothing else. Sprig, do you have anything to add to this conversation about this magical block?
It seems much more like a magical investigation than it would be a material sciences one.
Oh, it could be a bit of both. This is definitely alchemy at work, at minimum.
I vote we should definitely keep this so we can throw it at someone later. Look, if this rock
You
could,
just-
if these stones can survive Soba hitting it with her sword, then man, imagine what it'd do to someone we hit with it.
Yeah, but remember, they can only do it when they're activated and together.
Oh, true.
Okay, so all we have to do is get Soba to throw the path. I can cast enlarge, so like anybody else can make Soba any bigger.
Just as a question, when we removed the brick from the road, you said things deactivated. Is the effect on the stone also deactivated, or does it still
No.
have the, like, wibbly properties?
The effects on the road of the mortar. There's an effect on the stone and on the mortar that was holding it in place. The stone still has the enchantment on it, but the other stones around it, the mortar around the other stones around it may degrade after a couple hundred years. Does that make sense?
So, I have become more confused again. So,
Dang it.
You mentioned the stone has, like, a property that makes it more comfortable to walk on and stuff.
That is absolutely
But
correct.
the stones had properties.
Yes.
So this stone that was removed from the road lost
Still has
all of
this
its
property.
properties.
Still has that property.
Has this property.
Yes.
Okay.
There is also a
Because we started with lost properties and now we do have properties and I'm twisted around. I got it.
I apologize. I'm having an off day. There's two enchantments at play here. One in the stone, one in the mortar. The stone has the property of being of this incredible durability and flexibility, and the mortar has a property of keeping everything in place because that's what mortar is for, and it's been enhanced so it survives for thousands of years. The mortar property is damaged, not the stone properties.
Okay.
I apologize.
I'm also having a not great day. I'm like having a hard time processing.
I feel like everyone's having a bad day right now. Oh boy.
I'm having a good day overall, just a rough day for narrative. I have okay. Anyways, let's just go forward and find ourselves, shall we?
Yay.
Man, I gotta take another trip to the top of the mountain. Oh, man.
Look, you gotta train under the waterfall for a little while, at least.
Yeah, but the guy who was at the monastery is a little handsy. I'm not a fan of that.
Anyways. Shall we push forward a little bit? Maybe we'll find it. We'll get back on track. I
Yeah.
apologize again.
You've done nothing wrong. You're fine.
Are you going to be going and following the road along the barge? Tell me how, real quick, how you have that set up.
Well, the barge, there's like the rough middle of the barge is where Crabble structure is at, the Crabble plant.
Mm-hmm.
And then it is capable of basically just using the excavator / tree grabber claws to like push the water in the same way as like an oversized oar.
Okay.
At the back we have a space that is like essentially a small cabin. It's a little bit bigger than a tent. But it's at least a tarp overhead to keep the rain off.
Okay.
And there is a extra metal plate that Cece got just in case. That's just like convex and a space for us to make a fire if we need to.
Okay. As you follow along... Oh, sorry.
But other than that, it's just a flat wood-top barge.
Okay. As you follow along the path, you see a building off to the side. This is... Yeah, it's a smaller structure the size of a house. Does not meet the description of the place that you're looking for, but you do see a structure.
I say we investigate.
I will look into that. Yes, because I noticed the gate, that wall partition when you showed it to us a little bit back. It almost looks like the gate to a graveyard. So I'm gonna take a look at it. If you would have me do so.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Is it partially submerged, or is it like...
But see, that's the most fun part about it. Yes, in fact, the door is actually underwater. It's tilted. It's off-centered, but like a third of the door should be underwater. And yet the water stops at the door entrance as if it's hitting a glass wall.
I'm going to take a look at the door and look at the water level on it. And I want to see if the gate itself has rust on the hinge.
There is, yes. Short answer is yes. The door is heavily rusted, but the actual pathway in has this wall effect on the water.
Yeah. Sorry, the reason why I'm asking this is that like I'm trying to see if the water had been there and it had rusted, or if the thing is uniformly rusted.
Oh, you mean on the bottom part that's underwater?
Yeah. Supposedly
Okay.
underwater.
Yeah. The part that's outside is rusted, the part that's inside is not.
The part that's inside the water is not rusted.
The part that's inside the building is not rusted. The part which is, yeah.
Okay.
Inside the building there is no water. Even though it is underwater. There is dryness inside the building.
I'm going to take a step inside the building then. A very tentative little bunny hop between the two barriers.
The humidity drops by 20% as soon as you take a breath inside of there. It is comfortable and temperate.
I slowly walk around, look about, I look back at the rest of the party, and then
You see
I
a body.
shake like a dog that's been...
Sorry, do continue, but...
I had like half a second to finish that before you're like, suddenly intrigued!
I'm sorry! I thought you were just looking around. I didn't see the setup. I'm so sorry.
Damn. That's my favorite type of DMing. Just, yeah, nah, here you go. Dead body.
I love the idea that I look around and I'm building up the tension for it, and then just suddenly Jade busts through the wall and says, "Hey kid, want to see a dead body?"
That was perfect timing. That was perfectly timed.
You're gonna see it mid-shake, like, wait a minute.
Has a burlap sack full of intrigue and clues dumps into the middle of the room.
Honestly, I would have
It seems to be a dining area. There's a table, 4 chairs,
I would have
set
said-
at the table. There's a bookshelf against the far wall, a body at the head of the table. It's a nice carpet floor, and 2 windows on the right wall.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, what was that last part? 2 windows on the right wall?
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, I would have said, like, you trip over a body.
No, it's... You do, yes, in the shadows in the corner, you do see some remains that are not that old.
Okay. I will get into investigation mode
Yes,
in
absolutely.
a second. I am soaked.
Absolutely. Yes. Give yourself a good shake.
Flicker peers in from the outside, from the doorway. Hey, is everything okay in there?
Well, there's a dead body, but I just need a minute. Hold on. Just
good intrigue.
sound of like flapping ears as he shakes himself dry.
You just hear Flicker good. Oh, good intrigue.
This is dead body, but I'll get to that in a minute.
There's a dead body? There's a dead body? What's going on?
I love Conley Basher's like, we're going dungeon flippies here. You know, I actually worked on that.
That was
show.
good. Yeah, that was a good show.
It was
Good
good.
time.
Well, it was a good pilot.
Maybe
Yeah.
this is why I'm so normalized to seeing like, oh, beast's alive. There's a dead body.
Fair.
But, I'm going to take a minute, dry myself off. I walk over and I'm going to start my investigation. Do you need investigation music, or is this not going to be one of them things?
Oh no, this is not going to be a huge investigation. It's a dead body. It caught a crossbow bolt to the ribs, and if you can roll higher than a 10, you'll find out where it came from.
I rolled a 4.
For some reason on the match, when I'm
You have enough
imagining-
bonuses.
Oh, well, I mean,
Please
you said
tell me
roll a
you-
4 on my die.
Investigation.
I mean, with my 9, it's a 13.
Yeah, perfect, fine.
Why am I imagining the Pink Panther music during this investigation?
I'm actually thinking of the what is it? The music from Puzzle Agent of all things.
Oh no, that's perfectly fitting actually.
If you
See, I
don't
was
know what
going
Puzzle
profe-
Agent is, it's like a blend between Professor Layton and Fargo.
I was thinking Professor Layton, actually. Also, what?
Anywho,
Yes, you see that somebody has triggered an old trap, and they appear to have bled out here. There's some simple supplies if you're the kind of person who would take that, but
Yes, we are.
I look to the rest of the party, and I sing, "All right, folks, pull out your poles. We appear to have traps in here. It's going to be a bit slow moving going in, but I think we'll be able to handle it." CC.
So
Flicker,
what?
do you have
just
any
walks
experience
in.
with trap disarming?
I mean, it's not terribly dissimilar from mechanical engineering in reverse.
I like that.
I just like the idea that he said as we got traps in here, and so it's just like, okay, leave it to Soba. She just like walks in, and it's like then we're activating all the traps, and she's just fine.
Roll. Investigation should definitely be one of them, but roll some things to search for the traps. Either some perceptions, investigations, what have you.
Let me check my stuff, shall we? Feels like I want to say either for my end of things, crafting feels like the most natural one, but performance maybe, as in like he would consider where they would be placed and whatnot.
Okay. I got one for you.
Oh,
I'm going to use a lore check. The reason why is because Rodelac has a deep affinity for puzzles. And what are trapped rooms other than escape rooms with a very big punishment factor to add
Escape
to
rooms.
it?
Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that a lot.
escape room for masochists.
That is a 24.
Okay. You find 3 traps and 1 crevasse that appears to have, well, a chest in it, which is one of the 3 traps that you're definitely certain about.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to relay this information to the rest of them.
What kind of
Flicker
trap
puts
is it on the chest?
Are you going to roll to investigate? I guess you know that it is trapped.
I guess
It's
I'll
going to
roll for
release
the-
something. Something's going to be released if the chest is attempted to be opened. The chest was
Can I
already
do that?
also in a behind a.
Can I?
Sorry, go ahead.
Can I to figure out what the trap is?
Absolutely.
Okay. Here's my roll. 18. Wow, it really is a day apparently. So 18, and I assume with my crafting, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It would
yeah,
release.
I-
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's. I'm pretty sure that's gonna pass.
Yeah. It would release a short-term paralysis attack.
That's not so bad.
I mean, it's not so bad because we're all here. If there was one person they opened it, they'd probably fall face first into about ankle-deep water and drown.
Oh, I thought we were in.
That
I
would be
thought we were
unfortunate.
something that wasn't flooded.
Yep. In the building,
Okay.
it is suspiciously dry. Obviously, it's not that suspicious. Obviously, some sort of enchantment. But yeah, inside the building is dry.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's just kind of a dick move then.
Give me a crafting to disarm things if you want.
Yay! I shall do that. 13 plus 4. 14.
Mm-hmm.
14.
Alright.
So that should be more than enough, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. GD, inside the chest, you find your second favorite hammer.
Ooh.
Oh my.
The one that you gave to the vanishing cart in return for those scrolls.
Oh. Oh.
So. Okay, so the scroll of paranoia that itself was trapped was inside a trapped chest.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Magus, were you here for the vanishing cart? I think you
Not
had
for
just
the-
left at that
I
point.
think,
I left just before then.
yeah, I essentially gave like my second favorite hammer to get us some important scrolls that we considered you might find very important.
Which I haven't
CC
had a
translated
chance to look
them.
at yet, yes.
Yeah, CC translated them, and there were three scrolls of scry, two scrolls of some sort of ancient watcher spell, and I have it written down somewhere. Where was the other?
We never used that scrying spell to check on Pancake.
Yeah, you tried and it failed.
Oh right. Oh, because the Ken capital is warded, right?
Well, you don't know why.
I mean, that's the assumption that Soba.
That's the going idea, but just to clarify, that is an assumption. But yes,
Yeah.
you found three. You found a handful of scrolls, a scroll case, if you will, that clearly belonged to somebody who was very highly paranoid. You traded your hammer for it. You have found this building, and you have found your hammer.
Everyone? This is my hammer.
Why did you put your hammer here?
I didn't, it was in there. This is the hammer I gave to a cart.
Wait, when did you sneak out here?
I did? I gave this one to the cart.
Hmm.
Scrolls.
Oh,
Maybe Friend Flickard is in league with the skeletons.
I know no such skeletons.
I mean, hold on. Wait, maybe Flicker's in league with the skeletons? Didn't you just make a skeleton?
Soba is making jokes. Can you not tell from Soba's tone?
no,
No.
not really. Anyway,
Sorry.
On
anyway,
purpose. Soba cannot do a joke inflection. She cannot do it.
Makes so much sense.
regardless, this potentially explains a lot. The vanishing cart doesn't just make items or take items that others have given it and then redistributes them. It seems to take them from places that, well, don't seem to have much use for items, it seems.
Then where did Spooky Ingot come from?
Well, we've unlocked some new knowledge about the cart. Interesting. It's not just items that are traded to it. It is just straight up items that seem to be out in the world somewhere. And it seems to trade those items for another item.
Yep.
This is genuinely, this changes up the dynamic of the cart.
Add that to the list of things that I've been setting up for the past year.
Soba thinks I need to talk to Cart about its kleptomania.
I don't think anybody owned those scrolls anymore.
That's
True.
the thing. I think it only does that to items that are no longer actually owned or being used by someone anymore.
And if it doesn't just do that to things that are no longer owned, that's extremely funny.
Mm-hmm. Well, in any case, Well, either way, I'm happy to have my second favorite hammer back.
Soba's
Cece?
Sorry.
Didn't Angela find one of your books that you had abandoned on the vanishing card at one point?
No, it was in my bag.
But yeah. I mean emotionally abandoned, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Anyway.
Soba folds her arms and she says out loud, "Someone has to talk to Card. Is going to be very bad influence on Granny Biscuits." Because Jade, you've mentioned that Granny Biscuits sometimes just comes and talks to the card.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as Soba's concerned, Granny Biscuits is completely innocent, has never done a bad thing in her life.
Oh, obviously. She's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, obviously. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, she's just a hag. Why would we ever assume she's done something bad?
I mean, maybe it's because she perpetually speaks in obscure Dark Souls speech almost all the time.
Yeah. I like to think that because Soba like English is Soba's like fourth language. Soba like those just bounce off of Soba's head. Like she's just like she's just like nodding slowly the words that she understands. Like she's just like he's building her own sentence out of it. Soba's like does not understand how people don't understand what Granny Biscuits is saying while misunderstanding Granny Biscuits herself. Sorry.
Hi.
Sorry, it's been a minute since we've seen our favorite hag. I got nostalgic.
So true.
Yeah.
So yeah, that you pretty well explored this area. You have found that.
Okay. So, what else is around in, is this like the extent of the building, or is there like further doorways?
That's the extent of this building.
Okay. What was this building originally, would we be able to discern what this building was originally meant for? Like, was it a mausoleum, or?
Small home, you'd suspect. It was, not a very large building, but it could have just been a small home.
Alright, the traps that we had detected, were the traps like something improvised, or was it something that was kind of like baked into the architecture of the building?
Baked into the architecture of the building.
Okay, so that was very much preemptive and not like something adapted after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to do one last thing, and I'm going to trigger That's Odd to see if there's anything in particular that we might have missed. Do I need to roll perception for that?
No, not for. I don't want to make you roll perception of that because there isn't really much more that you'd missed other than just the knowledge that the water structure. You know what? Actually, go ahead and give me a roll. Give me a roll, anywho.
I rolled an 11. I don't know what skill you want me to use for that. Arcana or Academia or
Perception.
Perception. Okay, then that would be 21.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry, that would be a 20. I'm sorry. I'm dumb.
That's fine. DC was 20. You are able to find a keystone in a corner of the building. Not actually a keystone in the traditional sense, but a magical keystone that appears to be what is extending the enchantment of, well, a temperate building with no water across the entire building. It appears to have. It appears to stop the building from leaking, though you don't think you could honestly dislodge it. And you're terrified to think of what would happen if you did.
I'd like to sketch out the shape of the sigil for
Sure.
later.
Okay.
Let me write that under notes here. Sketch of... There we go. Alright then, I think we should keep moving.
Okay.
What about the rest of you?
Yep. Let's keep going.
Moving would be good.
I mean, I think we've examined the most that we can out of this house.
Yeah. The DM is saying yeah.
Well, now
Yeah,
we gotta do 10 investigation rolls.
I mean, if you keep on looking, you'll keep on finding stuff. You know how I DM.
Yeah.
But
See, now I want to do an actual Dark Souls and exhaust Jade's dialogue. Eventually, she'll run out of something.
I haven't yet. How long have I been streaming for? 3 years?
No, true.
Well, I mean, what else? Okay, what else is in the house? Like, it's just a simple like shack type house, right?
Yeah, it's a simple shack type house. So here is a question that I'm just going to pose to you guys. I had initially planned on adding a skill challenge into the swamp for a traversal, but honestly, the barge kind of circumvents that. So like, I'd be fine just moving forward to the next event place, like, because that's fine, completely fine. I'm not mad at all about it.
I mean, we prepared. It's your fault for not being prepared for our prepared.
No, I respect it. Do not misunderstand. I absolutely respect it.
I have an idea. What we could do is we
I
could
just
still do
made
the
the
skill
swamp more
challenge.
wheelchair accessible.
So true.
I lost it for a second though at Buck's comment in your chat. I'm sorry.
Oh gosh, yeah, no.
Jade's
Wait,
been streaming almost as long as the almond milk's been in her fridge.
it's it's true though.
Buck bringing up the lore.
I had half a glass before I was like, this seems wrong.
I will
Anyway,
not forget this.
See, Dragon, eventually we'll click on Jade enough and she'll go, hey, stop poking me.
join the army, they said. See the world, they said. I'd rather be sailing. Sorry, that line read is embedded in my brain.
What if me am that kind of orc?
Right,
You
sorry.
know, it's funny. You can make your own lines in there, and it'll make you sound like it was recorded on 90s tech too.
So, do you want to shimmy shake forward a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Because again, I was going to have, a skill challenge involving the swamp, but instead, I will simply say that after traveling for... Honestly, you'll probably have to spend the night somewhere, but regardless, you will find a very large structure. You can see a large dome coming out of the swamp. It is still actually fairly parallel with the surface for the top of it, and there is a staircase leading down a full flight of stairs into this large building. It has the exact same thing as the other one did, where the water comes up to about halfway up the doorway, and as soon as you walk through it, your foot doesn't even bump anything. You simply walk in, and the water is there. You can even look at it head on and see into a little bit of the swamp. It's not very impressive, it must be said, but you can actually see directly into it as if it were up against a glass wall. To which I assume you go down, or not. I mean, I guess it is your choice entirely.
Yeah.
So,
I
Okay.
will definitely do that.
Let's put out.
Yeah, probably the best idea, yeah.
Well, this is expansive.
yes, you go down 2 stories worth of stairs, and find yourself in a jarringly dry and dusty library. Greeting you at the entrance is a mural that looks almost as though it was crafted just a few days ago.
How does a mural greet us? Is it polite?
Extremely.
I'm sorry, they still look like lemmings to me.
There is a plaque in front of the mural, though, and of course it's in a language you cannot read.
Unless we drink the reed juice, which we
To
have,
Literacy.
right?
To read, you need to put
yeah,
it on.
that
You need to
makes
apply it to the page or plaque. But yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, then we do that, I guess.
I mean, it's Cece's juice, so.
I assume Cece is
I
curious.
guess Cece will share some of her learning juice.
Juice of understanding.
The literacy juice.
it says the Great Procession, circa 32 EGK. Now, the way it works with the translation, you don't know what EGK stands for, but you do know that does translate to something in your own language, not in its original translation.
So, I have a question. This mural,
Yeah.
does it look like a funeral procession, or does it what does it look like?
There are individuals, all with their arms extended, holding something, walking towards a large castle.
It looks like a tribute.
So not funeral then.
Hang on, how big were those the objects that were like that contained like the spirit stones that the Gripply used that were gifted to them? How big were they?
They're a little smaller than your fist. They're not that very large.
Could I safely ascertain that might be what's being held here?
I don't know about safely, but that is a very good thought process that I would encourage you to keep. Which is DM would speak for yes.
I figured.
Let's just be so honest with ourselves right now, right?
It's the best educated guess that we have.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to look closely at the creatures that are being depicted in this.
Yes.
I can assume that they are not Gripply,
Correct.
but I'm going to use using my academia, would I be able to guesstimate what race they might be, or is it too vague?
How familiar are you with Gith?
I mean,
Well, we've seen
identified their
several of their
skeletons
skeletons,
Mm-hmm.
We were able to discern their skeleton, so I imagine that at some point I was able to have like a book to read up on it.
Mm-hmm. Then yes, you would. This would vaguely match that description, though not perfectly.
Why am I imagining the Gith in this sort of like Roswell aliens?
He folds his Rodolak folds his arms as he approaches the mural, and he gives a small laugh to himself as he points up and says, "Look!" and points at like the little windows at the top. He says, it almost looks like it's saying Coco. Anyway, why would the Gith have the stones that were eventually given to the Gripply? He turns around and says, "Do you think that those were originally meant for the Gith, and she, the matron of the Gripply, eventually changed their function to give to them?"
Or what if... Or the Zopa's gonna like think for a moment and be like, what if the wishing power. What if this was how the Gith did everything, turned little froggies into full-size people, but smaller full-size people.
He turns
And-
around looking at the mural and says, or maybe this was originally meant to be given as tribute to the royal procession of the Gith Empire, and someone went against the wishes of the people that were in power. He looks back at the rest of you and says, do you think that the matron, by attempting to, what her grand plan was to reconstitute these wish stones to the Gripply instead of the Gith royalty?
Rise up against the proletariat. Wait, no, other way around, sorry. Failed.
Oh,
so
what
we're
if-
very tired.
What if they were what if they were bringing a bomb, making a bomb there?
Why is everything a bomb with you?
I forgot to
It's
mention
just
one
that-
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, just to backtrack a little bit. It's not directly relevant, but it was something that I wanted to mention while you were in the swamp. You do see very large frogs, like not intelligent Gripply, but you do see you do see very large frogs in the swamp, like nearly Gripply sized. Just a thing that I had forgotten to note. So it's going to scout them up in the skill challenge.
I think I might have I think I might have a piece to potentially solve the Gripply experiment.
Oh,
There was something about the in all the notes that we had been given throughout the Gith Empire, what little we had gotten to glean. The kingdom was brought into a state of benevolence when they were trusted with this grand experiment that the matron of the Gripply had been looking into. Something that one of the sons had taken great offense to. What if, in a way, this went from being a, oh, look at these wonderful Gripply and this wonderful thing that I have, to the only way to decouple the tyranny of what our race had been providing was to give them the one thing, was to give the Gripply the one thing that allowed us to maintain this in the first place. And the only reason why she gave it to them was because she saw that their innocence was something that she felt would trust to protect this land more than her kingdom ever could.
There are a few display cases back here. Most of the shelves are empty, though you can see decrepit remains of what were likely scrolls that are completely unsalvageable. By and large, there is only certain things appear to have had this type of greater enchantment placed on it of preservation. One being the wall, and two being this display case. There is...
I'm going to rub my hand along the wall,
Mm-hmm.
but very gingerly, because I don't want to like cause any damage to this thing. I've got gloves on. I probably have my gloves on and everything like that. I'm going to very gently tap it to see if there's any what's the word that I'm looking for? I guess like an egress, or no, like a small like indentation or anything like that. Something that might be designed as like a mechanism here.
No. This looks like more like it was, placed under a whole bunch of protective wards for historical significance.
Yeah, but why put the preservations on the mural, but not any of the scrolls, which would have a lot more documentation for this sort of thing?
There are.
Unless I'm going to look over at the book, one of the bookcases, and I'm going to see if any of those enchantments were in place but had degraded or were damaged.
Give me perception.
Natural 20.
Beautiful.
Jesus.
Boy.
The dice today.
It's faint. It's not well maintained, obviously, but you think that you might be able to read part of what's on the shelf with if you were able to extract what it says. This is what you find while investigating it. There are smaller, lesser protection sigils that you find, like small places where a little bit of magic has puffed out, and there's not even any residuum left to hold it in place. The short answer is that there may have been other protective scrolls. You suspect that there may have been, but there's no hard evidence of it.
Okay. I'm going to go over to the display case.
Mm-hmm. There are 3 scrolls.
All of which have been degraded, correct?
No. Inside the case, these are pristine. These are. You suspect that that you could smell the scroll once you lift the glass.
Okay, and the room is not too damp that I could actually read it without worrying of it getting damaged.
The room is honestly starting to feel a little bit dry in your throat. This room is so heavily contrasted from the outside. This room is very much climate controlled, magically.
I'm gonna look at the rest of them and I say, I think this might be the last piece to really have a good understanding of what had happened with the Ripley and the Gith Empire.
You're a bit low, Magus.
I know. I'm talking with gravitas. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I think this might be the opportunity for us to get the last piece of the puzzle to this Gripply experiment. So I'm going to open up the scroll and I'm going to peruse it. Very carefully, of course.
Give me one brief moment here. There you are. Let me.
Okay.
Let me just.
I'm going to. Do you mind if I read these then?
I hope
I'll
someone
read
does.
these out loud.
Please
I'll
do.
read it. I'm going to turn myself up. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Fantastic.
I'm going into my narration mode now that I have a good setup for this. Here we go. Penned in the 30th year of the era of the good king. My liege, I know it is only 30 years in your reign, but yet we must be thinking of these things immediately. We agree that General Gisoic will lead this country to war or worse, but his military career has won him the respect of the Eschiators. I'm pronouncing that right? Eschiators?
Escators is how I've heard it.
Eschator, sorry. I said Eschator. Or
Yeah, I think that's
Eschiator.
correct.
All right, the Eschiators.
Eschiator would be another valid pronunciation.
Okay. Which holds significant power right now. I maintain that Ratal has no understanding of any of our senates. He is loved, but I have no trust that he could uphold your peace. And Cerisi, while I genuinely hold that he would be an excellent leader, would never be accepted while Gisoic and Ratal draw breath. However, I may have a solution to the succession problem. I would like to meet with you at your earlier convenience, Grigor Salas. My dearest Chancellor, I lament this is the second one. I apologize.
You are peeking a little bit, just so you know.
Sorry. My dearest
That's fine.
Chancellor, I lament that you are correct. I do not want to think of such things so early into my reign, but I also cannot sleep at night for thinking of it constantly. However, I believe I have heard wind of your plan already, and I pray that I have misheard. You have known me long enough to know that there are lines I will not cross. I will not take the lives of any of my sons, nor will I take the lives of my people. Geralt,
Kierkegaard, penned in the planting season of 30s of the era of the Good King. P.S. Will you kindly lay off with that Good King nonsense? You know it irks me. Penned in the 30th year of the era of the Good King. My liege, you had all but run the kingdom throughout the latter parts of the 11th era, so you are at once a new king, and the one who I had sworn my respect and fealty to for the past 70 years. So surely, my liege, you wouldn't mean to imply that I, your loyal servant, would stoke the populace in such a way. I would never imagine such a thing. If I find who started it, I will give them a fitting punishment. If it pleases you, I will meet you in the quarters this evening. I have no doubt that your ears have caught wind, but I assure you that it was planned and prepared in the utmost secrecy, and will require no lives to be sacrificed. Grigor Salis. The celestial writing notes a smirk of sarcasm in the absurdly ornate script, penned in the 30th year of the era of the Good King.
Right, I've toned myself down.
This man is such an ass kisser.
Right? But I have reason to believe I might be on the money. Oh boy. So be honest.
Hi.
Were you expecting me to have like gleaned a lot of information from that mural upon walking into the room?
I mean,
read those documents.
There's a reason I put it before you got to the papers.
So yeah, we've gotten all the pieces of this put together.
There are some pieces I'm not entirely sure that you've connected yet, but you do actually.
It does feel like I don't think it's fully there, personally.
What do you think is missing?
Well, I mean, from all I hear, this is still connected to the Gripply, but not for what they were made, really.
Well, I think what I as Rodelac turns around and goes, well, I think the Gripply were originally an experiment, a curiosity based off of the evolution of the creatures that were here, possibly from the frogs outside. The Gripply might have, the progenitors of the Gripply might have originated here. But some of the nature of the magic of this place, or some of the items that they had gotten their hands on, allowed them the opportunity towards sentience. And it's entirely possible that in their attempts to prevent war and chaos from befalling the kingdom, they must have found a way to decouple these wish stones away from the Gith royalty and move them on to make the Gripply the successors. Of course, that's just a theory.
Would explain why all of them are dead.
Liv, check DM real quick.
What? Oh, okay. Well, a cult is better.
I believe the remnants of the Gripply, I believe what remains of the Gripply and of the Kenku are the echoes of what was left of this Geth Empire in their attempts to try and find ways to regain control of these wish stones. And they end up dying out, but leaving behind these, I suppose, proxies of the different sides.
So Soba will kind of like look at you and be like, then why are there so many more dead Gith the further south we go when the Gripply are further to the north?
takes a deep breath and he says, what if the remains of said Gith were survived through the Kenku? What if in their
Perhaps.
hopes to try and outlive the legacy of those Gripply, in their attempts to try and experiment with said necromancy, they were reinstilled within these Kenku that also seem to have evidence of potential experimentation. And they're gone, but the remnants of their efforts and their instincts are survived through said Kenku. I could, out of character, I feel like I'm wildly rocketing off in another direction here, so please help if I'm not.
Cost, check your DMs
Yep, I see it. The Kenku don't use anybody else's soul. It doesn't seem like they only mess with their own souls.
And
They're not
further-
killing anybody else to do this. It's sort of self-contained lichdom.
Soba kind of frowns. She goes, and the further south we go, the more of the Gith I can sense below the earth.
Soba,
Something happened. Yes.
can you give me a roll for occult or arcana and tell me the? I didn't hear
I
the
did.
result. Sorry.
Oh, it was a 19.
Total.
Yes.
Neat.
High five, Soba.
5. Yeah. So, whatever happened to... I don't know where the hell Soba's accent's going. I'm sorry. I'm in my ASMR mode.
It's migrating.
Welcome to Soba ASMR. The further south we go, the more Gith there are below the earth, meaning something happened that was centered down here. That's all I can really. That's all Soba can really assume.
Maybe there was
maybe
some.
they just lived here.
It's possible we are within the Citadel limits of what the Empire originally had started
Right, like
from.
maybe there used to be a big Gith civilization, and the center of it was just further south. I mean, you got to do something with the bodies.
We have put together already that further south from here was one of the major cities.
Mm-hmm.
So, Soba also says, turns to like Cass and goes, if stones came from Gith, and Kenku also come from Gith and continue their necromancy, then why do Goripli sorry. The stones are made using blood. If Kenku continue Gith magic, why do Kenku only use their own bodies? It does not make sense. But then, like,
Well, they also
the Gith,
not just their own, but they also manipulate animals for it. So
The one that you met raised pigs and slaughtered pigs for the blood necessary to become a lich.
Yep.
What if that the ritual, in order for them to continue on, turned them into said Kenku, and they maintained it from the instinct of those rituals? They did gain their second life, but they don't remember or understand what their life was previously.
oh,
What if the Gith are survived as the Kenku?
Hey, Magus, can you roll
Yes.
me a lore check?
I rolled a 13, which means a 26.
The Kenku were another one of the pets of the Gith.
That's what I was saying previously.
Yeah.
oh, that no wonder stupid birds are so stupid.
Rodelac?
Would hate to have been turned into dog.
Rodelac,
Mm-hmm.
reread the scroll and think about what the plan might be.
The second scroll, or the first scroll?
The first and the second. The third one is supposed to be more playful, and the third one is supposed to give you the sense that they're more old friends, sort of thing.
We must be thinking of these things immediately. We agree that General Jusoic will lead this country into war. His military career has won him the respect of the Ashiators, which holds significant power. Ratal has no understanding of any of our senates. He is loved, but I have no trust that he could uphold your peace, and Cirisi would never be accepted while Jusoic and Ratal draw breath. However, I may have found a solution to the succession problem. I lament that you are correct. However, I believe you went into your plan already. I pray I've misheard. You've been long enough to know that these are lines that will not cross. So, okay, I've got two ideas in my head right now, and I could be. Again, a lot of this is just like conspiracy brain that's been pickled over the course of a full year. So bear with me. Of
course, yes.
Theory 1: the solution was to lead the succession towards the Gripply. Solution 2: lichdom for the king. I feel like that out of character I'm having a derp moment because the first one does not sound like it would make sense.
No, the first one doesn't.
Nothing really points in that direction.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to discard it.
The second one sounds pretty interesting, but to become a lich, don't you have to kill a whole lot of people? And he won't take the lives of any of his sons, nor will he take the lives of his people.
But what about the ravens, or the Gripply?
Take another look at the mural.
I mean, the creatures.
I think you just got it.
What?
Sorry, I just heard Magus gasp, and it's just like, was that it?
Do you want to say it, or do you need me to?
Please do.
Why do you think they were farming for those spirits?
Okay, Magus, I'm sorry.
I said, why do you think they were farming for those spirits?
Spirits?
The silence is pregnant right now.
That's the word.
Farming
That's the word.
spirits? I don't follow the sentence.
The solution for the lichdom, it requires a sacrifice. They do not have the the king is unwilling to use the
Lives.
is unwilling to use his people, the lives of his people, or the lives of his children for this. However, there are two large populations that could be used in its stead: the Gripply or the Kenku.
Yep.
The Kenku seem to fixate a lot on lichdom as a part of their life cycle. So, and what we're seeing here are what appears to be the wish stones that the Gith are offering to them, which might have been the wish stones that were either for the Gripply or had been given otherwise. So, I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart at the moment trying to piece that last part of this together.
Basically, like, the last piece that it feels like, to me at least, is that the Great Procession was a mass sacrifice of Gripply and Kenku to make the wishing stones, which were used to turn the king into a lich.
Yeah. I think that's...
I'm going.
I definitely... God.
I'm going to. to intercess one thing, if I may.
Yeah, because right now I feel like that we are almost hitting the mark, but my brain keeps telling me, look, either the
You are
Gripply were
so
sacrificed
close, and
or the Kenku were sacrificed.
you
I
are
feel like it wasn't
so
both.
close, and I am just biting my nails, and I'm just going to give you the gentle push in one direction, okay?
All right.
Nothing needs to be killed if you have the blood. But blood doesn't transport very well, does it?
Mm.
Not unless you put it in the wish stones, right?
There you go.
Vessels. Oh, the temples.
There it is.
Oh, the temple that exploded in blood. God damn it.
There it is.
No, it's fine, King. We don't have to kill anybody. We just need a blood bank. It'll work. I promise. Motherfucker needed a temple's worth of a phylactery? Good lord.
Because he wouldn't kill anyone.
God, the amount of blood that he had to extract.
And based on one of the other things... Well, no. Never mind. I'm sure that's nothing.
Uh-huh. I'm sure it's nothing. Remember, children, when he says that's probably nothing, it's oh, I definitely shouldn't say that out of spoilers. All right, so the Great Procession had to have happened within the 30th or 31st year of the Good King's rule.
32nd, according to the mural on the wall.
Thank you. Oh, I didn't see that it had a number on it.
Sprig read it on the there.
Okay, sorry. The 32nd. Okay, so the 32nd year is when the Great Procession happened.
Mm-hmm.
What it did was a grand mass transfusion of blood from Gith who volunteered to create these giant phylactery in a temple to allow the king to live on, which is what drove Jusoa crazy, because the king unnaturally lengthened their life because he could not trust any of his children to continue the Gith Empire in any sensible and benevolent means.
Oh.
So Truzelic challenged the Emperor to a duel and used the magic of all of the temples basically to face him, and possibly was the cause of the complete collapse of the Empire.
Yeah.
At least that's my working theory.
I mean, what? I mean, otherwise, why would you abandon a perfectly good empire?
I don't think it's that a matter of that they would have abandoned it so much as just it whatever ritual that had happened befell a great tragedy that either
Wiped everyone out or close to it.
wiped everyone out or accidentally liched everyone into Kenku. The only
I don't think that would work.
the only pets that were
Kenku wouldn't work. I don't think.
Yeah, but the only creatures that were around consistently around the rest of the Gith, like on average, were the Kenku pets. So
And
what happened to the Kenku
and the Gripply pets?
and the Gripply, remember, was cordoned to a specific zone.
Hmm?
So
No, they weren't.
No. What do you? Wait,
I thought the Gripply experiment was like cordoned off from the rest of the kingdom.
the
No,
Gripply experiment
we
is
were
not.
in-
Sorry.
Yeah, we were in a lab, basically a building that made the Gripply. They
Didn't
were
the notes-
popular pets. That's why the Royal Stable Master was also the person who made the frogs.
Okay, so it happened to. So then the liching happened to both the Gripply and the Kenku.
I don't think that's what it is. I don't
Okay.
think it was that. Because,
Sorry, because there
like,
was a
to
few-
have your consciousness transferred into a different body, you wouldn't have the entire civilization left in ruins like this.
Unless there were, again, the idea would be that if this did happen, it was an unintentional effect, because it was originally meant for the king. But all the blood that was being donated into the phylactery for the Grand Temple could have possibly had an effect on the living Gith that could have scattered to both the Gripply and the Kenku. The thing is that the Kenku have made it abundantly clear that they do not remember when they come back. They don't remember their lives previously. Not more than just like little pieces of it. And the Gripply don't even think about that whole thing at all because they've got those wish stones to keep things going. Again, I feel like that I am barreling into a little bit of a conspiracy mode here on this one, but
There is
I
one
can't
more
think of any other reason.
case of
Oh,
scrolls.
okay, thanks. I will go read the other scroll.
No.
You said there was a display case.
Yes.
Not
No.
two.
Don't worry. You'll understand in a second. Don't worry. This is not like this display case has 2 scrolls in it, and it is the display case is labeled as the greatest invention of our time, and one of the scrolls shows where it was crafted. You may consider yourself to be in possession of a map to Callus.
Is that what it says, or is that what you're telling us?
That's what I'm telling you. That is what it says. That it gives you this information.
Is the map to Callus where the Kenkupital is?
No.
The Kenkupital.
This is very funny phrasing, but no.
No, but it might
It's
be where
the
the
southern city.
it might be where they are keeping the machine that allow, or the whatever thing that allowed this ritual to take place.
And
Or that
the
permitted
others
this to happen.
and the other scroll, the scroll that it was labeled as, and this isn't like as related to the same plot line, which is why I wasn't we didn't want to hand it to you earlier. That's why I let you spin out there. I let you weave that together because the other scroll, that is listed as the greatest invention of our time. The party now has a scroll of permanency. It does not incur any
Yay.
XP or level drain as it is a scroll that can be cast. It will take one effect that you can cast and make it permanent.
Giant Soba.
I
Giant
turn
Soba.
around and I look and I say, I think we just found the second piece to this wish stone that we had gotten our hands on.
I'm gonna be honest, I thought you were about to say, I gather everyone around and say, Giant Soba.
I mean,
Okay, actually, I
Yeah,
have
not
an
everybody.
idea. I have an idea. We have a wish scroll. We have a permanency scroll.
Yeah.
Is there a way we can make even bigger soba?
I'm pretty sure
Rotolag gives you like the most withering stare.
he would. Oh my god, I can see it.
I'm pretty sure we don't need both.
Okay, so one thing I do want to say, y'all have heard of Chekhov's gun, right?
Yes. And
Well, we
Yeah,
have
it's the-
Chekhov's sword in the knife point market. I'm just saying, if you make bigger soba, I can make that sword fire, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Based.
yeah, but won't that make? Yeah, but you'll won't it like take a lot to feed you,
Oh
man.
my god, what was it? What was at the base? What was the plaque commemorating at the base of the knife point?
Oh, there's nothing under the sword anymore. We found that out a while ago.
I understand that. What did the plaque
Oh.
say? Remind me.
And if this sword is if this sword is removed, then the thing that slumbers beneath it will awaken.
No,
Or
it
something
was just
similar.
it was let the bodies beneath this blade rest. Woe be upon any who removes them. Or it was to that effect.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Do you
sorry.
think
Yeah,
that-
roughly. Point point is, the bodies are already gone.
I understand that, but do you think that said bodies were part of any points at the mural, said ritual?
Okay, we probably need to talk to Musultaz about this a little bit. Because Musultaz made that sword. Wait a minute.
Yes. Mhm.
Depending on how old that, okay, pretend like Soba. This is getting translated into Soba ease because I don't have the brain
That's
for
fine.
it right now.
That's
we're in,
fair.
We're in conspiracy.
But
mode.
Yeah, it's fair.
okay, so that sword is very clearly super ancient. It was made by a Musultaz. It's we have to assume it's roughly the same era as this, because what are the odds of there being two ancient civilizations within about like a week's walk of each other?
No.
Right?
I'm gonna interrupt you right there with something that you would have known. The sword is ancient. The sword is nowhere near as ancient as any of this stuff.
So you mean to tell me there was another civilization that showed up between the Gith and the Griffly, and we just haven't seen anything about them except the sword?
Oh, you can talk to Musultas about that. That's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel
that's-
like we need to
Musultas
talk
made
to
the
Musultas
sword,
about
so-
this a little bit.
If Mustatas made the sword, then there's no civilization assumed to have existed.
Can I get a perception check from everybody,
Sure.
or whatever you want to roll for perception? Again, that's how this works, right?
Yeah,
I got an 11. I got an 11.
I mean, I got a
Sorry,
19.
13. My mistake.
Let's see.
I
My
got a
base roll is
19.
also 13. This feels like potentially Arcana, but I'm not sure.
I got a
See,
29 on my curse lore. If there's curse stuff related to this, I probably know it.
Oh, how about Society
Okay.
for mine? So 13 plus 14, 21, 14, 27.
Okay. A couple things. Rodolak, you're mostly focused on musing. You are lost in thought, so.
I got.
Cece, what was your
I
roll?
don't.
14 total.
14. Okay.
I wound up with a 19. I don't know if that came out.
Yes, I did hear that. I'm saving yours for a dramatic reveal. Don't worry.
Making sure, because I know I'm quiet tonight.
Actually, you're not.
Oh, did I?
Your voice is full and round, and it sounds actually louder than normal. It's like, yeah, you sound very
You know what?
close to your mic and like almost like in a romantic way. It's kind of interesting. I'm
extremely happy that I just have this professional voice acting mic now. Now I just need people to hire me.
So GD.
Yeah.
Remember these shelves that have a signifier that said EGK?
Yeah.
You now have a frame of reference for what EGK is, and you might want to check some of the other shelves. Soba?
Mm-hmm.
You're very well attuned to something like a brief shadow appearing over your head. But far in the sky above this dome, you have a pretty good sense of when a creature is hunting you.
Mm-hmm. Is that the end of the sentence?
It is.
That's like a good sign.
Mm.
And just if you get that sense, Flicker starts going through some of the other shelves.
Mm-hmm. You have a couple. So the shelves are split up by era, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
You have more information the more recent it goes, until you hit EGK, at which point all of the remaining shelves are listed as EGK. There's nothing. There's no eras listed after that. However, this era seems to have, the most on it.
So EGK seems to be referring to the most recent era that's been recorded.
Well,
Apparently.
specifically the era of the Good King, which we identified was a different era than what came. Here's the question, though.
By the way,
The era of the Good King ended, and a new king came out.
Clearly not one for archiving, apparently.
Whatever came out after the Lich ritual, literal as it were, was not the Good King.
Yep.
Jade, were you
Hello,
saying
I am Jade.
Were
was
you
that?
saying TGK or EGK?
EGK, Era of the Good King, or properly, Era of Gerard Kierkegaard. That's
Okay.
But which
So-
the
so I
Chancellor decided to push people towards calling the Era of the Good King EGK, which very much stuck.
Hey, see, I was thinking you were starting it off with the Good King, not Era of Good King.
Nope, the Era of the
God,
Good King,
God.
EGK.
Imagine being the person that has to follow that era up. Era of the Good King. Well, it's like, best you can do is Era of the Passable King at that point.
The era, the era of Siverte, the okay.
Era of the Good King.
The pretty alright.
Era of the Good King, the sequel.
I feel compelled to point out, as he turns to the rest of you, back on the back in the children's rhymes.
Sorry, go on.
The children's rhymes are what the piece is about this. One of which was the old frogman's den had gotten flooded. As he looks over and says, "Do you think that it's very clear that this region was not a swamp always, considering that they had immaculate materials and stuff that are submerged in water and filth."
Yeah.
The Good King is snoring with a knife in his back and a frog for his hat. Knife in his back. So he was betrayed after the ritual. Do you think that the ritual to lich the Good King affected his mind detrimentally?
In the historical sense, liches normally are not known for being sane.
Yeah, but liches are also known for being created through, murdering a whole lot of people. That's not
This is
generally a thing that you associate with sane people.
Well, my point still stands, doesn't it?
I was a lich once. I got better.
Not a better lich though. I'm a terrible
Maybe
lich
that's
now.
what happened. Maybe that's what happened. The Good King got better. Somebody unliched him and he just died.
Oh, they didn't give him the cure in time.
The cure for 25 stab wounds in the back.
Hey Soba, can you roll me a
We're
nature
up to
check?
13.
Just out of curiosity. You can have advantage if you want it.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I need it, but alright.
I was about to say, let's see what it is without first, but you're gonna get your.
Oh. My browser crashed like as the dice was going. So let me try again.
Rip.
Good sign.
How's a 22 feel? Wait, hang on. Okay. You know what? That's okay, so the readout says that it rolled a 12.
Mm-hmm.
Added together, that's a 22. But the actual dice on the screen says 15. It says either a 22 or a 25, depending on how How
We'll
you
say
feeling?
25 because that's one of the thresholds that I had in mind. And
Yeah,
it doesn't
I think
quite. Hmm?
Sorry, I was gonna say it looks like the dice just kind of got caught in the corner and the system didn't know what to do with it.
Fair. The thing is that it doesn't quite like this isn't an area where you would see griffins. It looks like a griffin, but from what I catch you able to see of it this time, but it looks different.
I forgot about the griffin.
Yeah. Soba's been looking up this entire time. By the way, like Soba's completely zoned out.
Yeah.
This conversation been looking up the entire time.
Like the tail seems wrong, It's not It's not the kind of griffin you've seen at the very least.
How low is it flying?
Oh, it's looking at you. It's looking in. It's looking in through the dome.
Okay. Could I reach it from here if I threw something at it?
Assuming you shatter the dome.
Okay. Soba is going to tap CC on the shoulder. Be like, little one, you are smart. What is a griffin that has tail like that called? Soba can't remember.
What does the tail look like?
Well, look for yourself. And she kind of just like she's not going to touch the chair because that's rude, but she's just going to point.
It's flying overhead, so you only can see it. It's flying overhead, so you can only see it, for a few seconds, anytime it passes. But the tail is a thicker and has like a little bit more bulbous of a tip at the end.
Like it's right on the edge of Soba's tongue, but cannot remember what it is called.
As much as I know exactly what it is, I don't think so.
That's fair.
Soba probably does. Soba probably does know what it's called, but like I'm doing this I'm trying to do it like an in character, like just nonchalant.
Yeah.
Like Soba's like, cool animal. Can't remember what that's called though.
It's a manticore.
Obviously,
Yes,
it is a manticore. That is correct.
Yeah.
But
It starts with like M. Like mantis,
Oh.
mantis code? No, manticore. That's what
what?
it's called. That's the word
A
of the
what?
day.
A what? A what?
That's not a griffin.
Oh, manticore, right?
But by the way, Koss, you realize you might be
Yeah?
standing in its nest.
Hey guys.
Oh,
So good news and bad news. Good news first. This is a very nice place that we found. It's homey, cozy. Something might really like to live here. Bad news is something really
Something
likes to
already
live here.
has. Okay. As he
That
holds up
would
his
be a
hands,
problem.
everyone remain calm. We're going to delicately put those scrolls into our pack. We're going to quietly leave. And hopefully, nothing bad is going to happen.
I
upon
think that's
us
a
leaving.
I think that's the perfect line to call the session on. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
so
gonna be
too.
honest. I was gonna add one more thing of just asking Jade. Hey Jade, do manticores lay eggs?
I don't think. I don't think they would.
Its butt is a scorpion, and scorpions lay eggs.
Its tail is a scorpion. Its butt isn't.
Yeah.
They
You're right.
actually do. Manticores do
Wait,
lay
what?
eggs.
Word?
Wait, what?
Manticores lay eggs.
Neat.
Soba would like to take egg.
Yeah, we should
it-
definitely see if there's an egg.
Well, we can sort that out next time. I do want to talk for a little bit about
Yeah.
these session though, because what do you guys think?
Very cool.
Well done.
Hooray.
We're gonna have like the biggest omelet.
I apologize. I went into
No.
conspiracy mode again.
Oh no, you were
but
supposed to. Yeah.
Do not make an omelet. Soba wants another pet.
I'm getting concerned
Okay,
that we're at
so
that
we'll see
point
if there
where
are
like
two eggs.
I'm getting concerned that we're at that point where I'm weaving the most like foam at the mouth, unhinged concepts based on the information that we have. I'm not trying to brute force the mystery. My brain is like, okay, what are we doing here? Sprig, did you just eat an egg on stream?
Wait, what?
No.
Right in front of Soba. Right in front of Soba.
Wow. Just wow.
I have no idea what you're talking about. It's none at all.
She says as she
No
pulls out
idea what
another.
you're talking about.
Oh,
So-
I didn't see this.
Shoutouts to Buck for making for actually doing the mural itself, for the record.
Yeah.
Yay.
Like, I think it does. It really. My original thought when I first had pictured it was that I wanted it to be a mosaic, but like the mural just made it just kind of was going to give the better detail because I didn't want you. I wanted it. It's like at this point in the narrative, the pieces are falling in place. If you hadn't gone full ham and cheese and getting all the details of the thing a few sessions ago, this I think would have been the push so that you would have been able to realize stuff. Like I think this is the point where it's like, oh, like where all the foreshadowing would have to come crumbling down. But like, yeah, that was. This is something that I'm really proud of having created those moments. Like at the end of the day, both game designers and artists of any form, are about creating emotions. At the end of the day, that's what we all do. Is we try to create a situation that instills an emotion, a particular emotion in the viewer, whether that's comedy, drama, or anything in between, of course.
Can I just
And
say
this
that
entire time, the emotion that I've been wanting to get to was to build up that oh sort of feeling. I wanted to get that Pepe Silvia board out of you guys, and you absolutely got there. And now it's getting even, the payoff is continuing where it's like, okay, we can work with this. We know we have a foundation. Like, that's what I want to create. And the fact that you're like, oh, I'm sorry for going computer speed. No, this was the design. This is what I wanted you to feel. This is a success for me.
I just don't want to get to that point of Spring constantly being like, that doesn't make any sense. Could you please calm down? And I feel like that I've gone
I just try
from...
to call you out when we hit the ones where it's like, this sounds like it's completely out of left field with nothing backing it up.
Yeah, thank you for that, because I know that it gets very easy to do that when you're in this state. But I find it kind of funny that I have gone from, oh, I'm just a polite little fox boy that wants to understand the strangeness that's happening, to foaming at the mouth, the gift of turning the freaking frogs into liches!
And like, I love how everybody contributes to it differently. Like GD has that cartoony aspect, that little bit of a zany mentality towards it, almost like a Looney Tunes sort of assessment of like, wait a minute, feeling. CC has that tech angle, and frankly, to be honest, a lot of that real world science angle as well. That Sprig leads to the character of this understanding of engineering and that sort of stuff. Soba adds in that really nice, powerful, natural mountain goer. Like Soba as a character and Liv by being the actress behind her really has that type of wisdom and thought process that none of the other characters really have, and that really helps. And helps to ground things, when either Cece starts to go to get away from herself on the science, or Magus starts to get away from himself on the, Rodelac starts to get away from himself on the conspiracy side. Rodelac is just like, this is just correct, right? Like this is exactly the kind of campaign that Rodelac, the character, wants to be in. Like, this is just very funny that it ended up being so engaging to that character in addition. And Koss Soba has some of it. Koss has that deeper occult angle where, it's like, oh, I understand the dark side of things. Hey guys, like you have a really good party for putting a puzzle together. And I am proud to be able to create a puzzle that was worth putting together.
I feel like Rodelac is the kind of character that would not do fairly well in most campaigns, except for this one.
I honestly kind of agree. I mean that with no offense, of course, but like, yeah, I see where you're coming from. Like,
I think
Yeah.
I think Flicker is like sort of built to be like okay in most campaigns, but
Yeah.
he is especially good for this one because I'm allowed to just do the cartoony shit.
And Soba's like, I'm not this. I was made for a completely different type of campaign, but I'm rolling with this. Right?
Yeah.
All right, I do need to get going.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
now.
See you.
Man,
Cheers.
I hope
I'm
you all
happy
had a
with
good
how this
time.
is. I'm really happy we got to this session because after you started figuring everything out, I feel like this session was a huge payoff for that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And like,
Yeah.
the next couple steps are going to be real wild. Trust me. Please look forward to it because we are reaching we are well on the roller coaster at this point, and the next couple of plot beats are going to be real cool. But we have to have some combat before then, obviously, unless you guys circumvent it, which I wouldn't even question it.
I wouldn't mind actually having some combat. It has been a bit.
Yeah.
Soba's just gonna we can all be just like rest in the back. Soba's just got this. It's a single enemy.
All right. See you
Roll
folks later.
Cheers.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Fun fact: if you guys hadn't followed the mayor and done that plot beat, I was going to relocate the Kenku encounter to be at the entrance down here, and just and tell you, and that's when they were going to try to bar your path from entering the swamp area. Because that Kenku encounter had to happen in some form, right? Like that encounter was very important for the Kenku plot lines.
Yeah.
But I had prepared for you guys not to go there or go there and not learn what you needed to. So I had prepared a backup in my mind, like, okay, if they don't engage with the Kenku at this location, then
Yeah, I get you.
and yeah, I was gonna do a big skill challenge with swamp survival, but like the barge circumvented all of that, and I don't mind it. It's like, you know what, that's fair. I don't even know if that skill challenge would have been fun for a party that generally prefers to be,
Jade, I'm gonna be completely honest.
Please.
I practically auto pass every survival check unless it's borderline impossible.
Which is
Like,
why
yeah. Yeah.
I agree
Like,
with that wholeheartedly.
No offense,
But that's why I want you guys not to only use your best skills, right? Like I would that's on you to be in charge of making a more interesting narrative if that's the case. If it's like okay, well I could roll survival, but I'm going to roll athletics to try to XYZ instead because you guys are in charge of as much drama as I am, right? That's how good tabletop works, right?
That's why, I try to use my non-crafting skills.
Yeah, exactly, and I appreciate that.
Engineering, I try to use more often.
Yeah.
Because, my crafting actually auto-succeeds, depending on the what I'm doing it for.
It
Yeah,
does, and it's
like,
very funny when we go there. Sorry, what was that, Liv?
I was gonna say, like, same with like survival and other like natural stuff. Like Soba and Cece are ridiculously good at what they're where they're from. So like, I think the fun part of this campaign is literally just, hey, I have this item. Let me use it in a way that Jake doesn't expect.
Yeah, I actually have nested feats for my crafting that as long as it's for machines or engineering, Cece's crafting, if I crit fail, is a regular fail. If I fail, it's a success. If I succeed, it's a crit success.
Yep.
So I don't have to roll dice, it doesn't matter, it's a crit success.
It's bananas. And I do notice and appreciate that you're not just saying I will crafting for everything, because yeah, that makes the individual encounters more interesting. And I appreciate that as the storyteller. Also, I prefer the word storyteller over DM for reasons that should be absolutely blindingly apparent for you guys for as long as you've known me.
I also like using spells and stuff for stuff that's not entirely mechanically in the text. Like technically, if I cast Raise Dead, if I get too far away from it, it falls apart. But that's less interesting than hey, I've seen someone else do this. Why can't I?
try to
gotta bug
approach
out
it.
for now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank
I'll
you
see
so
you
much,
soon.
Magus. Cheers.
Bye.
See you, Magus.
Take it easy.
Bye, Megan.
Like,
So it's such a shame that he always has to go immediately every single time.
no, it's fair. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm just glad we were able to get to everything because I did like. That was my fear about running the swamp skill challenge, anyways, is because like I definitely wanted you guys to get here because that was gonna that was kind of. How do you feel about finding the hammer? Speaking, I was gonna say that's a hammer drop. I'm like, hey, how do you feel about finding that hammer?
Yeah, that's. I mean, so far the cart's been an interesting facet, and
Yeah.
I do think this has given it a whole new layer now. Even though we
I-
don't know the exact detail of how it works, we can
Yeah.
assume that it's taking items that are no longer being used.
I love that Sprig is just like, I figured this out months ago. I thought you guys knew.
I really did.
I know.
We found my spell book with Angela, and it's like, oh, so it just takes any like all abandoned things, basically abandoned or lost,
Mm-hmm.
and just this whole time I've assumed that we were all under that knowledge.
I figured it
I-
out, but I was just like, there's Soba wouldn't. It'd be funnier if
That's
Soba
fair.
didn't figure it out, especially
Totally
with the
fair.
spooky ingot. Like the spooky
I-
ingot literally says where it's from on it.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to be
Wait,
concerning.
so- Yeah.
Okay, I want to say in my defense, it's been a while. I've been busy. I do not keep track of the
Oh, it's
previous
fine.
events as good as I did before.
that's
Also, honestly, I don't remember saying that mentioning where the spooky ingot was from. I don't think that was.
It says
mentioned.
it says on
Yeah,
it. It has
it's
a maker's
stamped.
mark on it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Soba just hasn't. Well, one, Soba can't read, and two, Soba wouldn't let any of you touch it. So
for good reason.
Well-
It's
Well,
terrifying.
then, as far as the party knows, we didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, Jade. I think Jade forgot that Soba can't read.
I knew that you can't read, but at the same time, you know what a maker's mark is. You would recognize it as
That's true.
such. So,
Okay.
yeah, both these things are true.
I believe you had also shown it to Cece as well.
Oh yeah.
Who's like hyper literate.
But
You know
yeah,
all the words.
I want to say this shit, but I think there was still some like. I want to say there was still some room for doubt there, just like a little bit. It's just like finding my thing that I gave to
Yeah.
it in a place where it absolutely should
Yeah.
not be.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we've
feel
seen
like
it go
it's
both.
open
We've seen it go both ways
Yeah.
now. So yeah.
Exactly. And that's something where like on my side, I don't know how hard I have to foreshadow things because like it sometimes it's like like are the players getting this, or do I need to push harder or make it more clear, or in this case, different players grep things at different rates, right? CC clocked that right away, whereas GD was like, oh, cool. Like right now it's just like, oh dang, and that's completely valid. That's completely great, and I like that. It's interesting.
Just on the comment of Cece being hyper literate, it popped me back into my head. I'm thinking of like, I absolutely imagine one of Cece's hobbies is borrowing like dictionaries from the library to read them and find words that are in the wrong order. Like she is. My description of Cece's personality in my head is exactly that kind of nerd.
That makes sense. Yeah, I know. It makes perfect sense.
Insert Homer Simpson.
She enjoys
nerd.
paperwork and like filling out forms and stuff.
I think
But yeah, it
it'd
was
be
actually-
really funny. Sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
I was just gonna say, I think it'd be really funny if CC just like tried to read like Soba's journal or something, and it's just like it's all pictures.
Oh,
But, like, it's
yes.
Not, it's not just pictures. It's specifically pictographs that are a specific hieroglyph used only by her tribe. I would love to see CC just try and figure it out, because it'd be like you would need to use your knowledge of Soba and Soba's thought processes, and then like there's an entire cultural difference you'd have no
I like the
context
idea.
for.
I like the idea that Flickr turns to a page and it's like oh yeah, she's definitely murdering this guy. It's like a very easy to decipher picture.
Yeah. I mean, like names are very easy. Like if you have like the context, like if you saw like her word for Rodelac, it's just a picture of a fox wearing a hat.
Matrax.
I'm actually
Yeah.
curious. What's
Yeah,
the
that's
picture?
right.
What's the picture for the rest of us? I'm very curious now.
Okay, so in order, so Rodelac, like I said, fox with a hat. Evil Rodelac is the same fox but drawn backwards and has angry eyebrows. So Koss is a sun because of the laser beam out of his chest.
That makes sense.
CC,
Oh, yeah.
CC is a wheel with spokes. Flicker. So Flicker's had several. First one was an explosion. Second one was like it's like a very crude picture of a tin can, and now it's a tin can with wings.
Just makes it sound like he's a can of Red Bull.
Because like it has to be something that's easy for her to draw, and she can recognize at a glance, like, oh, that's that person.
Now I'm wondering if you have things for like the mayor or like the other party.
Oh no, she straight up does. I'm not gonna tell you what they are until it becomes relevant.
I'm so looking forward to it. You have no
I just
idea.
I have been slowly. Sorry.
Just love the idea of her journal, like just having like a constant picture of an explosion in most of them.
No, it's yeah, it's like it's I have been slowly like working on like I don't have like proper like syntax and grammar and everything, but like I've been working on like just a shorthand version of Soba's language like the entire time we've been playing.
Soba, who is this? This is just a picture of a butt with a stick up it.
Okay, so that wasn't the symbol she used. That wasn't the symbol she used for anyone, but now it is. I just need to figure out exactly who.
Maybe it can be the elf girl.
See, that's the thing.
Angela's-
It's either Angela or the racist guy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And yes, the Kenkushi calls pancake. It is literally a picture of a plate of flapjacks.
Fantastic. I don't like this
Oh,
campaign,
wow.
and I like all you because you're all cool and fun.
Yeah.
You are too.
Get
You're
loved,
good
nerds.
too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going.
It's
Oh wait,
still-
don't we level up?
Yes, everyone loves leveling up.
Oh yay!
One thing I do want to mention real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The knife point market sword is was crafted by Mustatas and it is much more recent. Like these runes you're in right now are several thousand years old. This sword is like several hundreds. Yeah. Sword is like several hundred-year-old.
Centuries.
We are level 7, yes?
Yes, I think.
Okay.
Spig would know better than I
Hope
do.
so.
Yep, we are now level 7.
Okay, I'm gonna say maybe we should be level 8 because I didn't get anything this oh wait, no, I got Titan Wrestler. Never mind.
Nice.
Now I can definitely wrestle dragons.
Nice. And you have a scroll permanency, and everybody knew exactly what it was going to be used for. Like, I had mentioned what the reward thing to my chat while I was doing some of the map building streams. Everybody's like, oh yeah, so I was going to take this for be permanently huge, 100%. It's like,
Wait,
yeah, probably.
wait a minute. Hang on.
Jeez.
So, is there a size category larger than gargantuan?
Do you want there to be?
I mean, if so, goddamn. So let's see.
Large.
So I count as a large creature.
Yeah.
I have another. I have a. So I can grapple large creatures very easily. I have another feat that allows me to grapple creatures one size larger than me as if they were my size. So I can grapple huge creatures. Now that I have and by extension, I can also grapple gargantuan creatures, but with penalties. I have Titan Wrestler now, which means I can now grapple gargantuan creatures as if they were my size.
Right?
If I become bigger, that means that by default I count as a huge creature.
Yep. And you can grapple colossal
Which
creatures.
Oh right, I forgot about colossal. Oh my god, I can grapple colossal.
I don't
I
think
could pick-
anybody ever manages to get use out of colossal.
Kraken are colossal, I believe, and I think the Tarrasque. Those are the two I can think of off the top of my head.
I could grapple a Tarrasque.
That's-
Wait a minute. No, I can already grapple colossal creatures.
Hype.
Titan Wrestler is better than I thought. You can attempt to disarm, grapple, shove, or trip creatures up to 2 sizes larger than you.
Oh, that's right. It
2
is two.
sizes.
Oh, dang.
2 sizes, not just once.
Amazing.
I could grapple colossal. This fucking subclass is stupid.
It's a little bit bananas, that's for sure.
Oh.
I like this campaign, and yeah, it wasn't subtle that it was a Manticore, but at the same time, I feel happy with how I built it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Magus' response is like, the shrines! It's like,
Who told us about the griffin in the first place? Was the kid?
about the what?
Was it like the kid who told us about like the quote-unquote griffin that was here?
Yeah. It
Well,
chased
his
him away
eyesight-
because he went into the library and he got that staff from the library.
Well,
He
his
just-
eyesight sucks.
He just wasn't as interested in the historical finds. He was interested in saying that he might be able to sell, frankly.
He didn't know what it was, and that it wasn't a griffin, but it was something big with wings.
Yep, it looked like a griffin, but not quite.
Yeah, he never called it a griffin. He said it was like a griffin.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Something along those lines, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, Team S
well-
Colossal too.
I can grapple Tiamat.
I don't think you'll face the Chromatic Mother here, but like, just
I
know
would
that you
like
could.
to. I would like
Well,
to
okay,
I
we've
would
got
like
a
to
wish
snuggle
scroll.
Tiamat. Bring Tiamat
We've
here.
got a wish scroll. Let's just bring her here, and we can do it.
Mm-hmm.
First, let's save the game, though.
Yeah, I cannot wait for you
It'll be
guys
an
to get to
interesting way to
Callus.
end the campaign.
One way or another. I'm so
Silver is
excited for you guys to
becoming
get to
the
Callus.
Yeah, Soba's becoming the greatest grappler, so she can give the best hugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tracks.
Actually,
Like, she doesn't like violence, she's just good at it.
Fair.
I wonder if anyone's I shouldn't say that because I don't want to spoil. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Hi.
No, Jade, come back here. Come back here, Jade.
Hi. How's it going?
What do you mean, Jade?
So, what's one thing that I've drawn a blurred line between pretty heavily all campaign with the Gripply?
In fact, they're using
Blood magic as life magic, not death magic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what is lichdom?
Oh god.
It's a permanent life. That's why it doesn't That's why it doesn't require souls. That's why it doesn't require murder. That's why it doesn't require sentient creatures to be killed, because it's a permanency life spell. That's a lichdom. It is a lichdom. It is a variation of lichdom. It is undeniably lichdom. It is a blood magic lichdom. But because I think about things a lot and I can't stop, the way that they've crafted the spell is by creating a permanency life, rather than by creating a life through death.
yeah, it's lichdom without undeath.
It's lichdom without undeath, which is huge, right? Like that's a huge thing.
Hang on, if blood magic is life magic and Soba is now the avatar of life magic, does that mean Soba is a lich?
Not yet.
good. Just
No,
like,
you
just like Grandpa.
just remember, you are you are an avatar of life in the same way that CC is an avatar of machine. Like, no, you have an aspect of that, and it is something that you can draw upon for extra strength or ability. But it is, it is not. It's not a Paragon path.
Okay. I mean, Soap was going
I
to
guess-
pursue this. Soap was going to pursue this to the point where it becomes one. That's just the kind of person she is. She made an oath, and she's going to fulfill it and going above and beyond.
That's entirely okay. But I just wanted to clarify where you are right now. It's like right now,
Okay.
it's that sort of affinity, is I think the word I used, rather than deity.
Yeah. Like
I just
want
wanted to be clear
to
about
point
that.
out, like, like you brought up, like, oh yeah, Soba can abandon us at any time. No. Soba made an oath to protect nature and all this other stuff. Now Soba's gonna keep going. She's gonna follow this until its end result, even if it kills her.
I fully believe that, and I hope for it. But it is still an important distinction to make that you have the ability to get rid of it, whereas CC functionally does not. And that is an important distinction, because nature can be given up upon and destroyed, whereas technology and what we consider to be often to be progress is something that is not so easily let go of. It's metaphors all the way down. You know this. How long have we been doing? like you know how I am as a writer at this point, right? Like.
I was a metaphor once.
So I'm just looking at the new spells that I have access to with our new
Yeah?
level. And,
Oh boy.
Okay. Aromatic lure. I can make people do the pie thing from cartoons where they float on the scent toward a pie.
Oh my god.
This is somehow a 4th level spell.
This is somehow
What?
the most Flickr thing I can imagine.
Yes, but also
Dear?
what?
No, the
I'm
Flicker
not
variant would be it lures the people in like that and then it explodes.
True.
Head out later.
Alright, cheers. I'm gonna wrap up here in a sec. But
Alright.
I'm happy with things, and I like the campaign, and you're all cute and cool.
Yay.
Cheers. Cheers, friends.
Bye-bye, you too.
Bye.
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 Till next time.